adjustments.
Yeah,
There you go.
we doing a double live
Trying to,
today, you guys. We're live on Just Ty live
hey,
now. Just Ty now. You can go find him at JustTainow and True Life Stories. I would yell out Master
What's
Creator,
in and what's
but
in?
he's here already here, sounding like Big Chill.
What's in? Man, them.
let
Yeah.
them know.
Yeah, we got who just
Hey, here
popped
it
in?
is.
Cryo. What's up,
True life
Sun Tzu?
stories. Time trip.
They ain't ready, brother. They ain't ready.
Yeah, I know you had I wanted to call you so bad, Sun Tzu.
So, hey, same here, bro. Same here.
I
Same
wanted to
here. That's
call you.
why none of us called each other.
Yeah, I wanted to call you, but I said I save it for the live when we on live because I know you got something to say about it. You feel me? Which is
Tell us that trip, man. Tell us about that
Nah, don't,
dragon trip.
don't come in there and spoil this shit up with that Libra effect, man. That ain't what it do. That
I
ain't
ain't
the
gonna do
magic
that.
right there, man. You're playing your own game right there,
Nah,
man.
I
You
ain't
should
gonna do it for the
let that
live.
shit
I'm not
flow
gonna
he
do it for
said
the
natural,
live.
man.
he said he not gonna do it for the live. I was gonna say something else with that, but the joke, it went too far
Do it
in
for
my
the.
head. Yeah, it went too far in my head. I had to hold on. Let me stop. You're gonna wreck. I ain't trying to do that. I done wrecked too many times, man.
They already know they inside the dragon's stomach, Master Creator. It's all good, man. It's just a dream, though.
Oh, it was a dream you had of the dragon.
Nah, I'm just no, nothing like that. I'm just flowing with what Master Creator just said. I'm just telling them the actual facts.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know, man. That dragon. I don't know. The scales on the dragon back. I think each scale is a different reality, bro.
Yeah, but it's the same thing as the octopus with the thing on the technical or the tentacles or whatever they call it. So
Yeah.
it's just the same shit over and over.
Yeah, over and over again. It's like kind of weird, but I ain't gonna lie, Sun Tzu, that angel, man, that angel shit threw me all the way off, bro. I was like, what the hell is going on, bro?
Yeah, and the funny thing is, right before you came back in your body, it went behind you before you even made it to your body, but you probably ain't even catch him.
Man, it like,
Yeah, so it's behind you right now, and then it put its wings over your eyes, and then
yeah,
this is what you're seeing.
yeah, yeah, and like it was weird because every time I figured it out, it would snap me right back into it. It'll let me figure it out. And I'm talking about the figuring it out seemed like it was a process of like to where I understood it for years. And then it'll snap me right back into it. I'm like
No, it
going, what
didn't
the hell
snap
was
you
up?
back into it. It's not that it snapped you back into it. It just showed you that this is it, pretty much. This is
Yeah,
what it is, and this part of it is the illusion, but that what you just saw is the reality of the situation.
yeah,
But it's a beautiful dream, you feel me? So either way, as you can see, it maybe you ain't know yet, but you can't you ain't gonna get touched, so it's okay. That's just a part of it. The look, the scare, the fear of the death part, and all
but
that.
yeah,
Yeah, it's just gonna just mist out the like a thin mist, and then it
that's
turn
Hey,
it.
into this and that.
I
hey,
think that
why that reality gotta hurt so much though?
it
Just to
don't
see that part, like, oh,
Yeah, it don't
because
hurt at
you.
all though.
it hurt.
I think it's because you so used to seeing this one that you get used to this one, right? You get so used to this shit that when you see something else or you put in something else, you kind of lose it because it's like, nah, bro, that can't be it. This can't be it. Like, bro, it was crazy because the little gesture kept on like putting his hand in my face to see if I was like paying attention, and he kept doing it, but I wasn't really paying attention to the gesture at first. I'm trying to see the backdrop of what was going on. And then finally, when I paid attention, and I even said it, I said, "Okay, bro, I see you. You don't gotta keep wiggling your hand in my face." And then that's when it just like boom. I was like in that heavenly place. That's when the trip like really started and kicked in. But but you know what's trippy though, Sun Tzu, is the fact that okay, I'm telling you, man, I got to be one of the gangsters, psychedelic trippers on the planet right now, because I
Yeah, I think,
literally.
yo, real talk, bro. We them, bro. We them.
I said, I said, I literally,
Type shit.
Master Creator, I literally took the PEs and got the Don Julio and put them in a blender and blended it up.
Damn.
That was my mushroom tea right there. I blended it real good too. You feel me? And it kicked in kind of, it took its time, it kicked in because I was on the live. I forgot I was live when I was doing it. I was live that time, remember? And it kicked in. So, but the weird thing about it is like the next day, like when I dove in that last time, bro, my reality was just real life. It was real life. That's it. It was like I got some visuals, but it was real life. It was like this right here is what's happening. This is
It's
the
still
now.
going right now. It's still
Yeah,
going right.
yeah,
Exactly.
yeah.
Right now, it's like no going back, you know. And pretty much you done figured it out. You see. So it's like, what we gonna do with it? You know, it's easy. We could do anything with it.
Basically, and it's
But
wild, right?
you
Because
don't wanna do nothing.
once you understand that you have that control to juggle reality like you want to, you kind of realize you've been juggling it the way you wanted to in the
The
first
whole
place.
time.
The whole time.
And that's the whole realization right there.
That's
But
it.
that's no. We still lying though, because this is a part of the cloak. So that's the whole thing. It's a cloak.
You think so? You think it's it?
Yes, yeah.
It
'Cause
actually,
what's underneath the whole thing is the real you, is the mystic, you know,
but
which
that's
is just a word.
and I think that's the part of it that we just don't understand. There's like infinite
You can't
amount.
understand. You're hiding it from yourself.
There's like an infinite part of you. Like you. There's so many different aspects of you. It's like the thing. So each layer of you complements the other layer. So this layer complements the other layers. This layer couldn't exist and those layers couldn't exist without each other. So just because you're understanding and seeing yourself on this layer and right here, at the same time on the other layer you're seeing it the same way. It's probably not this, but
Yeah, but the
there
whole
you
thing is all of that shit. None of that is what's happening, and that's what you just found out. At the end of the day, that's not what's happening. Yeah, it looked like it's a whole bunch of stuff, but it's coming back to the same thing, you know?
everything is happening. That's the problem.
Quantum physics.
Hey, that's the thing. Everything is happening. There's nothing now. Now I can say this though, Sun Tzu. There's nothing that's not happening.
Yeah, right, you know? But hey,
Except for the
man, it's
not
all on
happening.
fire.
They over there be like, man, we not happening, man. We just not happening.
It's,
That's the only word they know.
it's like,
We just not.
and even them, because they thinking they not happening, but they happening by not
Yeah,
happening.
yo, you were
That's
saying something
something.
about your angel, the trip you had about the whole angel thing now. What you say happened now? Cause then you'll see what I'm saying. So what you say happened? If you want to run it back up in a little
Okay.
summary vibes.
Oh, I was like, okay, it was like that spark, the Ark of the Covenant, right? That was God.
Right.
That was God, right? That was the spark that was put within me to make me. But that spark right there was something that it was almost like I seen it, but I didn't see it because everything else that was going on was what I was following. The things that I was following were like fleshly things, was things that this reality kind of give you in order to make you feel a certain way, to make you feel powerful, to make you feel loved, to make you feel good, and all these different things. So the aspect of me that was made within this reality was following all those things and not really giving into that spark or what that spark was, or even trying to follow that spark. So basically, being that I was following all these fleshly things and all these things, God trapped me in it and let me be trapped in it to live life over and over and over again to get whatever I wanted out of life. It didn't matter. Like it was like living lives as a millionaire, living lives as
One
a
second. 1 second. So with that, what you just said right there, and that was the last trip. In no, what you just said prior to this. You know what I mean? Like with all that other space stuff that we do, we do. You know, me, you, everybody else here. But that right there was the whole point. You see what I'm saying now?
yeah,
So it don't matter what you do, what direction, left, right, up, down, blah, blah, blah. You could do whatever you like. You
yeah,
could do it.
exactly,
You can have as
exactly.
much time. So
You
pretty much, but the point is, you ain't really doing anything, and you're wasting it. It's like we're saying we're wasting our own time. Like this is it. This is it.
yeah.
You know. But
It's
it's not like a scary thing though. Most people, it sound like something like somebody saying,
no.
"This is it. Get ready to get your head split."
Hey, no,
But
no.
you
What
know.
what made it what made it scary? Like not in the sense like I was scared like on the ride but I was like kind of spooked because I'm going, how long do I have to do this? Like how long am I gonna have to do this? Like and this is what's crazy though. I understood it in a way that okay, even that God aspect was still me, right? You feel me? Oh, what's up with it? Awoken. All these different levels were still me. So it didn't matter like when I came into life how I looked at the level. Cause I took it every which way. I looked at it in every which way and I experienced it in every which way. So it didn't matter. It was still looking at it the same way. But it didn't seem like that from each person that I was. It didn't seem like it was the same thing. It seemed like it was something different. Like again, it was new again. And then it was new again. I don't care if it was like a million times it was new. And then it was new. And then it was new. Every time I came back, it was new. So I looked at it
And
like
that's
it
why
was
we
new.
lose our,
Go ahead. What you say, Ty?
I was trying. I said that's why we lose our keys
Yeah.
over and over again.
Over and over and over and over
Because we
again.
got a lot of different points of view, so maybe it wasn't at that particular point of view when you was looking for the key.
Yeah. Maybe I just and it was times that you wasn't even looking for nothing. You was just being.
Exactly, and that's what I'm trying to tell you. Every fucking thing that's happening
Keep mine,
here
brother. Where you
is
go?
just
This
trying
one.
to tell
Okay, you
you the
got it.
same thing. Even when your
I'm
blunt
gonna
drop,
see.
when you go to the store to buy the backwood, it's a story telling you the same thing that people live their whole life for. You go in the fridge to get some Kool-Aid, it's a story trying to tell you the same shit. Yeah, that shit crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. It is,
Like
bro.
I'm
But it's
just saying, you going in the fridge for a bottle of water or something. But I'm just saying, if you pay attention to what you're thinking while doing it, what
Mhm.
happened when you're going to do it, blah 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 blah, and you put it, you'll see it
You had that
continuously
master
throughout your whole
key.
day.
That master key people keep preaching about Errol all the time. You gotta do this. You gotta do this and bend like this, and just gotta pay attention to what you already going through. It's already there.
yeah. Like it's
So,
weird. I think I found it. I'm gonna check it out, Jonathan. But no, it's weird, bro. It's hella weird. Cause
it ain't
you,
weird. It's just that a part of it's scared. A
The
part of
Twilight
it's scared.
Zone.
hey, you be thinking, everybody else and everything got control over you, and just like you always had control over yourself. You always was
It's
woke.
crazy.
You always was awakened. This is awokenness right here. It's always been that.
Yeah,
You've
but hey,
always
true. You
been
know
that.
what it is? We went on a journey. We didn't go on a journey, but back before our memories serves us, if you dig deep, you can even find that we came from a far place to become a human,
Uh,
becoming this form. So we have certain memories. Some people might say trauma of this and that, but it ain't even got to be this type of
the
trauma what we talk about. You know what I mean? Like relationship or family. I'm talking about maybe thinking about a worm's life trying to get to the surface. You
the
feel me?
place. Look, this
Mhm.
is this is what's
Isolation.
weird though.
Yeah.
Like like the place that we came from, right? The place that we
Yeah.
came from, it seemed like it almost started at the same time as this place started. It's like they all started at the
Yeah.
same time. It wasn't
There
like I
is
said.
no time.
It wasn't one separate from the other. Like you feel me? Like that place, like bro, that place. When you go into that place, which we would call heaven, you remember it. It's not nothing like new. That's the weird thing. Like
Exactly.
you remember being in that place and you going like, and this I'm not talking about my last journey. I'm talking about even journeys before when I first started seeing those things or seeing that heavenly place, and I go, dang, I remember being here. Like this ain't nothing new. And it's like sometimes I think Sun Tzu, like from the time that we birthed all the way up until the time we actually start talking or we actually start getting like shared this reality and people giving us this reality, I think we still be in that place. We still be tied to it.
Yes, sir. And I was
Just
in
leave
the
the damn
like if you
keys in the
remember if you
car.
pull up your tub, right? Pull up
Yeah.
your tub and go in the water and lay down in there. You remember when you was a little baby making circles around that motherfucker,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
more memories start coming up. A lot of ways to trip, man. Do that shit on some shrooms, it's crazy.
Yeah,
Yep, yep.
shrooms. Man, shrooms, I ain't gonna lie, bro. Shrooms is a beautiful thing, man. You know,
It is.
it's a beautiful thing, Ty. I don't know who brought it into the reality, but
one
we knew what
one
we
of the
was
cool
doing.
things I see about it, about like the comfort in the reality sakes and all the stuff that people go through in they time and space that they occupy, and asking questions about like where do they thoughts come from, what is life, what is death. It doesn't like just give you a straight up answer. It gives you an experience, and then like it's so cool that it ties in other experiences that you thought had nothing to do with it, and then you're like, wait, but it does have something to do with it because they said it did, but I looked at it like this, or I said it was like this, and that was the magical at that moment, and it's
Yeah,
always magical.
yeah, it's
Because
always
like, where do you
magical.
go when you daydream? Or when you're visualizing a place, does that place actually exist, or would you say it only exists on mushrooms or in dreams?
It,
I think like it all exists. It's
yeah,
there, but how tangible it is to the person and how relevant it is to their life is based off their how they did overall. If you want to talk in big, how they designed themselves to come into the world, but how their culture speaks to them and their clothing and their religions and their parents and their friends and stuff
yeah.
has a lot to do with it.
Came in on
So
the
like how they
comet.
take those
How
visions
many
in their
lives
head,
can
like, oh,
survive
am I a
the vacuum of
psychic, or
space?
oh, am I a shaman, or oh, am I just a dope human being, or like, am
Hey,
I a remote viewer, or
just how Jew said we came in on the. He said came in on the comet. Not many lives can survive the vacuum of space. That's how the mushrooms came in.
Hey, look, you just said that everything is on the same timeline. Like when you came in, you can't everything came in at the same time.
Yeah,
So if everything already happened, right, and this planet going in the sun or some shit or shit going blow up, that means the shit already blown up, right? So
yeah,
that means if we all inside of the fire right now and we just doing all this magic because we in the middle of fire, obviously that's why this is it. But it's still an illusion, right? Yeah.
but
yeah.
that
But think about that though too. What you saying, and about the thoughts and the daydreams, because a lot of things seem scary to people because of how they are encountering things already in their everyday life. Like how you said, is always happening. Like
just
however
spans of
people view
consciousness and
things is
oh,
how it's just how it is
did
for
it say
how
that?
it is.
Exactly.
So like somebody that truly they say, oh, this person believes in themselves, they do this and that, but they could just be following what they see in their mind. And what they see, they probably see themselves being Batman in some world, or a mixture, some superhero, or a
You got
slug on a banana or
you
something.
got
And
niggas
like, oh,
running
and I'm the
around
slug.
thinking you really got niggas running around thinking they superheroes right now. and they really believe they superheroes, and they out dressing up in superhero attire, trying to save the streets.
Those are vigilantes, though, that think that that's been hurt in some ways. I gotta take
They
it
saw
back in
that
my
spark,
hands.
man. They saw that spark that you was talking about. But the thing is, they watch a lot of TV. They got a lot of conditioning, so they related it back to Superman and Captain Planet. You feel me?
Yeah,
Yeah, this is the way that has to be done. I saw the same thing they saw. But
man.
you gotta
I was
correlate it more.
remember Watchmen, right? Ty, remember when
Mhm.
the
What
what
part?
his name, the comedian, was that his name? The
What he do?
when he jumped off when the people was riding and he jumped off the damn he jumped off the spaceship and he just started shooting them.
No, I'm trying to remember the movie. I'm looking at a scene now.
Yeah, Watchmen. Watchmen. It's the comedian and the owl dude, whatever his name is.
Thinking about the one with the blue people. That
With the blue dude. No, it's the blue naked guy. That's how I put it in. I said, what's the movie with the blue naked guy superhero movie?
oh, it is that one then. Okay.
Yeah, but he jumped off the thing and he just started busting at the protesters and stuff. And I was like tripping because I had made a video, I never did post it though, about when they just raided the ICE building. Like the people like basically ambushed the ICE building, and then when the police pulled up and showed up, they just like they start firing at them and they shot one of the police in the neck. I said that's gonna cause it to be like Watchmen in that time where he jumped off that ship and he started shooting people, and the other superhero was like, "Bro, what are we doing?" And he was like, "Man, you know, we got to save the people from themselves."
Yep. Great with
Got to
great
save them
power
from
comes great
themselves.
responsibility.
Have to save them from themselves because they can't do it. They don't know what the hell they doing.
hmm That's looking at the surface so much, and then thinking that the way that they are living is just the way that they're programmed. Like you can't change the computer now. Like you just gotta get a new one.
Nah, I
Hey,
think. What's up?
hey, you don't agree? You don't agree about? Let me just get this back to this part right here, because it's concrete, so it's gonna get you somewhere. Because I realize you sidestepped it because you don't know how to direct it. Because this whole thing about we cloaked up right now. Do you understand that that is what's going on? No matter what it looked like to you, it's not what it seems. Individually, each individual who running around here right now that's looking for something, trying to find God or this and that, that same exact motherfucker is rocking a cloak and don't even know it. Because it's not time yet to show it, you know?
Yeah, but that's the thing, right? So what do we do? Do we take the cloak off and not,
You can't do it. No, no, no. You see, the thing is, that's what
like
the question
do we?
is. It's not what do we do, is who's asking the question if you already know.
Yeah, the one that's wearing the cloak is the same one that's not wearing the cloak. Everybody's wearing it. I
Hmm.
think
And then you
everybody's
got to
wearing it.
think about, so no, you got to think if the small man noticed, what about the big man that noticed? Then you can see why they're living in Metropolis. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like, who gonna be accepting this shit? Not the middleman. The middleman ain't
I
trying to believe that shit. He just trying to hand the shit one direction to the other. So
yeah, I
it's
think
just two
all of them.
people
I
on
think
both sides of the seesaw.
in all reality though, I think everybody knows what's going on. That's why everybody's doing
They don't
right
have a
what the fuck
choice,
they're doing right
but everybody
exactly
got a
what
sentence.
they want to do. There's nobody not doing what they feel like they should be doing or want to be doing.
Hmm.
Yep.
They ain't got a choice really, because it's their sentence. You know, some people wake up in their sentence, I guess, and recognize the verse, and they still don't hear the song.
And you know what's crazy though, right? This shit is like the mind is like TikTok. Cause it'll be on one thing and then it'll jump to something else so fast, then jump to something else because it don't like to just live in one moment forever at times.
Nah, nah, it's the
Mhm.
cloak. I just told you it's the cloak. That's how it does it intention. It does it by purposely. It got to keep skipping. You know, sometimes you really pay attention to yourself, you'll hear the click in your damn head, and your brain hear that
Nah,
click.
nah, that makes sense. Cause like I said, every
Yeah.
time I figured it out, it switched me up to something different, and then I
He
just
Hmm.
said
be going out. I'll be
everybody got
going
that
about
click.
life,
Yeah.
I think everybody hear that click. That's why
flipping G,
they
Everybody.
move.
the bird,
But they don't pay attention to it though, Ty.
Agree.
Yeah, they was.
Now I
100.
understand the attention game, but I think the attention is a game as well,
Right.
as much as all the other games that's dished out to people. Is
That's
Because it's
something
not
like
really attention, it's conversation, it's communication. You just gotta know how to read the language, not just A, B, C to Z.
nah. See, cause then you'll do the Buddha thing to where you'll just cut everything off and just go into meditation and break away from everything.
Get stuck in a cycle. Yeah.
and I don't even think Buddha did that. I think that's just what they they wrote
What?
about it.
What?
He pretty
Wait,
off of
what?
did some things and then, like did things that was not part of society. But for people to be written about for thousands of years, things got to be extrapolated
Yeah,
a bit
it's a lot added to.
Yeah, man. Cause Buddha
extrapolated.
still right here. Buddha right here, right now. You know, Buddha ain't go
And his
nowhere.
and
They
his brother Fuda.
Yeah.
Like
they
they forget about his brother Fuda.
It's just
yeah,
like
Like,
you
oh,
cause
look.
he
It's just
wasn't
like
good
a lot
enough
of
because
people
you
don't know
decided to
the. A
stay with
lot
the
of people
people.
don't know the equation
You
of the
decided to
math.
stay with the people, so your name will not be remembered because you didn't disconnect from people. Like
and
he was just as important.
all of them got their teachings from the same place.
So I think like
Mhm.
remembering and not remembering is part of a larger game. It's part of a larger S concept of how this life is configured.
I'm gonna show you another piece of the configuration, Ty. That's gonna. You know, I keep coming with this shit.
I'm
That's
just
just.
thinking. Go
No,
ahead.
you gotta do it. I'm just showing you
Yeah,
another
yeah, I'm
piece
with
of
you.
the
I'm with you.
configuration. In each individual, it's just the same two people. You know what I mean? But you can't be either. You gotta stay in the middle. It's the same two. So, for example, the negative, whatever that in that one fight, them two people is the same person going at each other. But then we would say, you just fighting with himself, you know?
We're all
But really and
living
truly, yeah, he
we
fighting with
all
himself. But
receive
no,
our
you
life
know what I mean? It's
received
still
in
running
Christ.
parallel with that shit. Still trying to take you out. Still trying to
Yeah,
have you really fight yourself, you know?
but
Because that's
that's
the only way it could do it. Because the enemy ain't got no teeth. You got the teeth. So you could only bite yourself. So it got to work like that so you could psych yourself, you know?
For reals.
but
It's
that's
getting like that with me
I,
making video games.
I think that's part. That's one of the aspects of it that you see is that even when you think you fighting somebody outside of yourself, you still fighting yourself. It's the fight always, and the whole action has always been with yourself. It's never been with anybody or anything outside of yourself.
So what I just showed you is how separation came into being and how there is no such thing as separation if you're in the in between. Because then you'll recognize that it's just the same person on the scene right now. So what you're housing is the individual that this whole existence is looking at
You
inside of you right now.
But that's the cold thing about it, though. I think that's why we create the separation to get the desired feel of individuality.
To trap yourself.
But that's the thing. You're only trapping yourself within yourself. So it's
Right.
really not
So
a
you're not
trap.
so you're not trapping yourself. You're trapping something else that's within yourself. It's like you're the guardian of the temple.
Yeah.
You feel
Or
me?
why we trapping things? I mean, we had to lure it there in the first place.
Yo, I'm gonna tell you how you trap. I'm gonna
Exactly.
tell you how you trap it. Hold on. I'm gonna tell you how you trap it. When you and your
Enemy
girl
have
get in an
teeth.
argument and you fell for it.
Only one here chatting.
No,
That's when
that
it.
was
Wait, say
called
that.
walking.
Wait, say it again.
I said I'm gonna tell you how you trap somebody when you and your girl get in an argument and you fall for it. It ain't gotta be this thing that you're creating inside of your head when you hear that. No, it's simple as that. Yeah.
Hey, yeah. That's the funny
Sometimes it
part.
is.
Is when you create the argument.
You create every conversation you have.
Yeah, because
So
you
like for
pick.
example, like in this what we're doing right now, it's two energies. You know what I mean? It could be, or it could just be the same, and it doesn't have a choice. They either working together, they get on that one level, or it's the two
It
against
could be
one
like
against
10
the
of
other.
them.
You
It
know
could
how it
be
Humans
goes.
two in
can
the
create
foreground and then like
isolate
8 in the
processes and
background being the
life, but
producers.
So,
Like, all
so
right,
yeah,
that's
okay.
so that's the oneness. So that's the oneness. So that's why no
like
good,
moths,
no
yeah,
bad,
like
no
moths
such
to the
thing as
flame.
good, no such thing as bad. We just fucking decoded the matrix. Go outside and go get a Benz out of the parking lot.
Ah,
Next week.
hey, it, I think we, I think we like to live in the, I think we like to live in the trap of our own ideas and understanding. That's why we fortify them so strong.
And
And
that's why I don't call it a trap. That's why it
I
could be
call it,
another word for it.
it's a mansion. You living in your own mansion, okay? All right, you put gates up. You got security and everything in your mansion. I'm telling you,
I
like that.
call it a trap, but I'm gonna call it a Gucci trap, Gucci man trap type thing. You know what I mean? That's all they do. We ain't gonna change the word now. We're just gonna give it a different definition now. You know
Because
what I mean?
I
it's
think the
weird.
word trap come about.
Not
It could come about from people physically saying, "Dang, when I wake up, I'm still in this body." But
because
are you really still in the same
Oh no
body
no
from
no,
yesterday?
it's
Ty. Who said that though?
I
Who
say
said that?
billions hate dealing
I'm
with
thinking of people on
themselves.
the
Yeah,
internet.
No, I'm saying sometimes what if I wake up tomorrow and I said, damn, the same thing you just said. Am I still trapped in this body? Who you think said that? You think that was me?
And I had
No.
forgot what I had said. Hold on.
Right.
Yeah, that's how it
Exactly.
be going.
Yeah. So that's what I'm
but
saying.
It's
it's
So you
different
don't
weird.
parts
know
of
what
the
you
mind
That's
think.
that
the
work
that's
that
the
you work
But
on.
where in all of this is the me part? There's no part of a body that makes a me. It's all just a bunch of parts, right?
the the me
What
is
you talking
probably
about?
all
Hold on.
of
What?
it.
No. Watch this.
The
No.
me is
Watch this.
probably
And
all of it.
what you say? No. What you say, Cryo? Say that again.
I said if no individual part of the human body makes a me, then where's the
Uh-huh.
me at
My
all?
girl's body.
So what does
Me
the
too.
human
Sometimes
body
I'm
got
in
to
my
hold on?
girl's body a lot.
What the human body got to do with a you? Meaning the human body is your existence, is what you're saying, correct? So that's how it got to relate to you.
I don't know. I'm trying to figure it out.
Oh,
Like even in science, it's something that come to mind. How the human body is made up of atoms and carbon and stuff, but so are other things in the world. So
So
how that
right.
I think everything is all related. It's
so
just
Sun Tzu.
Yeah,
So okay. So what if we all and everything you see, we just a reflection of you?
it can't be that because you're involved as well, and you have
what?
a dream too.
Oh,
And
come
this thing is
on.
all, and this if listen, and this thing is all burning. So everything that you see is a me too. So there is no me and there is no you, and nothing is here. Everything is see through. If you're thinking correctly, then you will realize it's just that you're conditioned to thinking that the body is me too, but the
But
body is neither me or you. So if
that's the
you
thing.
recognize,
If you looking, like say if you was looking in the mirror, right?
yeah,
And say you seen a speck on your face, right? A little speck.
yeah,
And you know
yeah.
what would
But
you do?
remember what you just said though.
What?
If you said if you said if you was looking in the mirror and you see a speck on your face, pay attention to the words. So that means you're
I'm paying
speaking to me
attention.
as if I'm tired. So pretty much you still think with all the trips we took, you still think that the Sun Tzu you're talking to is the body. You feel me? So there is no me looking in the mirror, seeing a speck on the
I
face.
know twins
So pretty
attached
much
hip
that's
to
you
hip.
saying you get up tomorrow and see your car with a bird shit on top of it. That's not a problem. You wipe it off. You get back in your vehicle. you
That's what I'm saying.
you ain't even gotta wipe it off.
That
You
that's
feel me?
hey, that's what I'm saying. So when you see that speck and you wipe
Yeah,
that speck away and you correct that speck, it's the same thing we do with correcting certain things that we see that we feel is wrong or in reality.
exactly. Exactly.
because
And what if that's
reality is
just how it
just
comes to us? What if like in that itch is a whole nother world where these calculations
these
and stuff is
phenomena
happening,
contain
and
all
it put
And
like a
others. What is here
that is
reverberation.
is
very true.
everywhere. What is
That is
not
true.
here
And
is
that's why it
nowhere.
appeared in this appearance. That's why it made an appearance so that you could make it no longer appear. Detachment, you know? So as soon as it appeared, yes, that was that world, but it came into this 3D, whatever you call it, as that small situation or whatever, just so that it doesn't bother you.
If your eye
Not for you to
is
tackle it,
pupil,
because it already tackled. That's how it
now
became an obstacle.
you know it's your body. He said, if your eye is pulled out, you know it's your body, Sun Tzu.
Oh no, hold on.
Huh?
So it says so if the eye is pulled out, I know if it's my body.
Yeah.
I'll know if it's my body, right?
He said, if the eye is plucked out, you
Uh-huh.
know it's your
So
body.
no, the pain, the body is gonna feel pain. Is that's if that's what he's referring to? Yeah, the body gonna feel pain. There's still
Yeah,
a
yeah.
you. There's still a you that ain't there that feel the pain. Because if you go to the doctor, they can give you certain things. Like I think you guys the smart people here. Certain things with the nerves where you won't feel pain. So it's not too far fetched what I'm saying. You know?
He said,
Yeah.
Jonathan said it's Idris net. Each phenomenon contains all others. What is here is everywhere. What is not here is nowhere.
Courage the Collie dog lives in the middle of nowhere.
Hey, I'm okay.
You
See,
ask him where here is.
oh shit.
Like, I don't understand. Like if they can't
Uh,
understand,
right?
like this is all cloaked up.
Wait, is
It's
it
like
You
he's
here?
trying
just
to trick
you're in a building right now. Like we doing it. Like you're in a building. Everything is saying what I'm saying. You're sitting on a chair. Everything is a cloak, bro.
Bro, I was
You're
just
laying
about
on
to
a
get out
bed.
my chair to get some coffee. Let me get
You
some
feel me? Like, come on, bro.
coffee.
You know what I mean? The dolphin trying to tell you. You know, like it's all good. Like we just here. Doing this thing. Don't you like the operation? Just wake up in it, and you'll like the presentation that get presented to you.
Now,
But if you're still fooling yourself, then you're still gonna be all matrixed out.
now let's
Like
because
we
a
dive.
lot of
expect.
people that want
Now,
to go
Sun
to
Tzu,
other
let's
worlds.
dive deeper into this, right? Okay, so if the body is not mine, then whose is it?
Yeah, but who said? But who do you don't?
Same
Wait, hold on.
question.
You heard that shit? What he just said, Ty? He said, if the body is not mine, then who is it? Whose is it? The person that's looking, whatever. No, I'm sorry for saying person, but whatever that's looking through the eyes. Next question. Watch this.
So when the person, how did the
It ain't a
person,
person, but
how did whatever it was that's looking through the eyes get it confused and start to believe that the body was his, that anything was his?
because hey, hold on. Because the person that's the thing that's looking through the eyes is not the mind. It's not the brain. Sorry.
Yeah. I gotta go to work. I gotta brush my teeth. I gotta breathe this air. I gotta.
Yeah,
I gotta tell
yeah, it is
my
crazy. Open
lungs are
eye beast.
breathing.
So when did it get confused and start to say, oh, that's
So
my
that's just
girl,
part of the
oh,
game.
that's my car, oh, they're my
You want
shoes.
me to tell you? You want me to tell you when? You want me to tell
When
you when? When it started looking at other things. When it started looking at the TV and seeing things that it liked. And when it started seeing his friends coming home with the new bike. When it saw the first Nintendo commercial. You know what I mean? When it saw his friends
yeah,
come home with his new hairdo or a new pair of shoe. You know? Yeah, so we did all types of tricks and shit, and
and then
called it competition. And it just built on itself, snowball effect.
so
And then we got lost in it. But some people didn't. You know what I mean?
so what
Some people
okay.
didn't even play.
So what happens when you get to that point to where you understand that the I is not you, and then
Then you
so what do you?
realize that what you're looking for is just somebody sitting on a chair. That's it.
He said, "Do what
And that
Christ did and
everything
become
leads,
a
yeah, everything
blessed
leads back to here.
eunuch." Oh, yeah, he said, "Do what Christ did and
And
become a
then I
blessed
Everything,
up
eunuch."
everything.
here.
Like say somebody want to say I'm trapped, so I want to leave this reality. I'm never coming back.
It's
What
like
if they
getting
did
lost
leave?
in playing a video game.
Like
I'll
that
tell
thing
I'll
that
then I'll
was
tell that
saying that
person they need an exorcism.
that thing did leave, and then but then another reality started or something where the everything that was still that thing was just kept going.
Yeah, open eyed. Oh, Jonathan
Hold on, you
said,
was
"Hold
Ty,
on,
Todd down.
hold on." Jonathan said, "It's like getting lost in playing a video game and getting really identified with the character and swept away by the story."
yes,
Yeah,
exactly. But then again, you gotta think. Now you're on a quest to figure out who made the story. You know what I mean? Who made the story? Who and why we involved in the story? And then you realize when you try to come out of the story, it's the same things that you
what
like
y'all
within
doing?
the story. So you're like, damn, how the fuck I'm gonna come out of the story? You know? So that's why at the end of the day, the thing that you seek is a person sitting on a chair. You know what I mean? Because he already got everything without having it. You know what I mean? So you just got to figure that part out. It's still a mystery. If it's
Well,
still a mystery to you,
I got my video camera set up to where I hit the button that make my chair disappear. So,
yeah, exactly.
dang, oh yeah, you barely getting. You still in the old town in Oakland, Master Creator, huh?
Nah, I'm in San Francisco right now.
Oh, Frisco.
The eye
Hey,
is in
true. He
San
Man.
can't. Hey,
Francisco.
Critter, he can't come up with nothing next with that shit,
Oh
bro.
yeah, I
He
can
already
come
knows.
up. You know, I can
You
come
can't
up
touch
with.
nothing. All right, what you
Hey,
gonna touch? There's nothing to touch. You can't come up with nothing. Tell
you
me something
you
on this
know I
planet you
can
could
come
touch
up with
right now.
everything, bro. Because if the
All right,
body,
come up
if
with
the
something.
if the body, I'll go back to it. If the body ain't yours, then why you in it?
Your mama and your papa fucked and then you came back in it because you are everything. No, listen carefully. Listen to me. Because you listen. Your mama and your papa was fucking and you are
Made
everything. So
love.
you was right.
Made
Listen,
love.
bro.
Correct that.
Nah,
Made
Listen.
love.
they was
Made
fucking.
love.
Your mama and your
They,
mama, my mom and my papa was fucking, and I'm everything, and I was right there listening and looking. You feel me? So, at the same time, when the thing was about to happen, I was right there as well. So it was still I
oh,
understand that came in it. So you can't escape.
he
I
said.
used to
Same thing goes for you.
Hey, Juice
when my
So
mom
said.
that's
would
why.
say,
So that's why we in it though. Really, it sounds funny, but don't you see what I'm saying?
But you,
How else you gonna be not in it? So
yeah,
the
but I'm
same
saying
way when
okay.
this body
So
drop, mm,
that's what I'm saying. So you in it, right? You in it. So don't you just
Cool,
play the
okay.
part, or do you just stop playing the part? Do you stop
Cool.
being?
part
Do you just quit?
part play by itself.
Do you just quit
Cause
the
it's not a
game?
play, you know.
Oh,
You
that's what I
can't
was
quit the
thinking
game.
about.
This
The
is the
thing that
game. It's
quit the
like you press
game
play. No matter which
Like,
way it go, this is it.
probably
Go
has
ahead, Ty.
nothing to do with this. So it wouldn't matter to the thing that's in the game, the thing that's
Right.
behaving in the game. Like we think of everything that's happening, but we get in glimpse of it because we put ourselves in the game.
but that's the thing though. You are
But we're
the
not playing the
game.
game.
You like see, because we think we look
You
at it
said it
like
was
we
a
in the
game,
game,
and what is it? Why is it a
but
game?
you are
And
the
don't we
game.
still talking within language, so it's within the main frame of the
But
Yeah.
circuit board.
but
You
that's
know what
the
I
So
mean?
thing though. What do you do,
So,
Sun Tzu, when you are the game that you
well,
think that you're inside
let me
of?
ask you a question. Let me ask you a question. Why would Sun Tzu be asking, "What do I do?" So how the fuck would I know how that go? Because I haven't seen
It's amazing.
anything yet that I would have
Always
to ask.
unable
Oh,
to
what would I
reincarnate
do? You feel me? So the question is, you would have to be a
my
specific,
parents
like, give
or
me an
former
example. What the fuck is it that I couldn't do? You know what I mean? For real.
projects a world projects. Okay, look.
Mm.
Okay, now UL here. UL said, "What is you projects a world that projects a body that projects is that that projects a body. The body is a tool to the projection and build as you. You are a story that makes stories.
There it is.
On top
If
of it,
that's the,
So
if
you're
that's all he
saying we are
said, that's
three
all he
things at
said.
once, right?
Here
We
I
are
get it. Here I
originator,
Tell
get it.
him to fly.
manifester, and observer.
he said.
Well,
right?
basically.
He said, "Go on and fly, Sun Tzu."
Hell yeah. Hey, tell him I never touched Earth before. I don't know what the fuck.
They
My
hear
feet
you. I'm
never
just
touched
reading the
Earth
chat.
before.
I'm reading the chat.
I
They
know.
hear
I'm
you.
just telling them my feet never touch Earth because I ain't got none.
That's
For real.
uh,
And
so.
that's facts.
So in the end, the moral of the story is do what? Do nothing.
Here I get it. He's still talking about do. You can't not do. You can't not do.
Yeah, we're a rolling ball. We
Life
don't gather
got
no
to.
moss around
Life
I
here.
got
said
to,
the
bro.
moral of the story is what? Do nothing. Let it do what it do.
Basically.
Let it do what
That's
it do.
Or we can just wake up and not do. But everybody got to be locked in too. It can't just be you.
He said, yeah, get some Air Jordan signs. Might as well, huh? Go get some J's.
Think about it.
Man, that reminded me of one time I needed some Air Jordans. I was like, man, I'm gonna get myself a pair of them. And then I'm walking on air.
Huh.
You know,
So
they say
true that
Satori is
answer
the
your
same
question
as
was
real
true. So
life,
you were just saying.
except 2 inches off the ground.
But that ain't what Sun Tzu is saying, because the UL said you are it doing as it does.
That's what I was caught
Because
to.
because Sun Tzu is just a there is no this alter ego thing that this thing you're
You
referring
outdo
to as a
me.
Sun Tzu and this and that does not exist in that reality. This is just a conversation and a body walking around. You know what I mean? So what this body's doing over here is something that can't be told. It's something that can't be explained. But this right here is a
It's
conversation explaining the unexplainable.
it's doing it's
As we
that's
Or are
all
we
doing
explaining
it. Not
people?
me. We all doing it right here.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
doing
Or are
itself.
we
It
just
don't need anybody
This
to
is
do
just a
anything.
reflection of this is just life itself.
It doesn't
Or
need and it
whatever they
don't
call
need
it.
anybody to do anything. It's just doing
They
it
don't need
itself. This
that.
is what it does. And then
Or you
we
hold it not need nobody. This is it. This is its body, right?
who is
This is
it though?
you motherfucker.
I'm not it. I'm
Are
not it.
you are
I'm,
you you
I'm
know when
not
I say
it, and
you
I
that
ain't
means
doing
you
nothing. I'm not it, and I'm not doing anything. I do nothing.
you ain't gotta do it, you just gotta think it.
Yeah, that's it. And let it do what
Yeah.
it do. And then I just watch it. I just watch it
You
now.
just watch it, man.
That's it.
Because guess
yeah?
what? Whatever you
Just
think,
think
you're gonna get it, you know. So you just make sure you
My
think,
sophomore year,
prepare
of,
for it.
think
basketball.
about what the
That's
mind
right.
goes through in a
That's the
person
Jordan's
that's
only white.
traveling through
The
different
team.
worlds in their minds,
Only
rather it be a
one
kid
dunking.
reading
On them
books or
faces.
an adult that's
Ah.
doing mushrooms and talking a lot and meditating and going through the stories and realities of what's witnessing those different stories going on at the same time and how are those stories being related, like how I think that's part of the aspect of the me of the observer, because we're not
Yeah,
just in this body ever at one time.
But you gonna always
yeah.
be you until you not you no more.
Now I understand
So
the
then,
you that's talking to you, but while I'm talking to you I can be
you
imagining
can.
me skateboarding on top of Mount Everest in the middle of a tsunami, and I
Hey.
can feel it, and I can even learn some things from there. Like I can play out a
Something.
story of
right.
bringing my rope, and I forgot my rope. Oh, I'll never do that again. So now, like say in a day here, I'm observing that. So probably in a day here, I'm seeing the leash for the dog, and I'm be rushing. Then I turn, oh, I need that leash or something going to. I just know I need this leash. Like in my experience in myself, it's a lot of stories that happen like that with me, where it's visions and stories that I play out that have nothing to do with me trying to write it down, just daydream, just playing out cool things, and then
Yeah,
it turned out to be relevant to helping me here, even with little things with how to behave or what is reality, or like finding myself in Twilight Zone situations and playing it out. So we say, oh, you got too much time on your hand, but isn't that what they always say? You kind of need, like, you need some time. You got all the time in the world. Like, all these realizations bring about for me a different, or in the person, in my experience, a different uh, um uh, a certain realization, a certain personality type. Let's
Yeah,
just
man.
say that, because they're
yeah.
witnessing different parts of their personality, which doesn't just exist in one plane of existence.
Yeah, 'cause your soul come down here to deal. Your soul came to deal with certain things. You know what I mean? So those appearances appear for you to deal with. Only you know how. You know,
Yeah,
and
and
why.
sometimes it's fun. It's just music. Or like think of inventors of games and stuff like that. Like they probably in worlds or of animes and movies where they was dealing with these concepts and was really like Lord of the Rings fully in there and it's like, all right, I'm gonna write about this. In his life, he was living that out in another reality. And then us reading it and envisioning
What's
it,
up, Tom?
we're living it
But
out in that other reality too. But with our perspective on it, because it's like we become the main character and we voicing it like him, but we hear in the background sometimes, oh, I would want to do this. Or sometimes we just sit back and watch the character do what it do.
the
As
main
if it's still
character
us
is
still.
always trying to,
Oh,
yeah, do a lot. But wait, hold on. Here goes some. UL said you have to make the forest before you can make yourself lost. You have to build a mountain before you can climb it. You created the beginning and finish line, and how you will play the story. And then somebody else, he say, "Yo, everyone," he say, "Daydreaming in Twilight Stone, to bone getting in the zone." What? what is
Tell
what
you,
is
you
you?
sound like my grandfather right now, man. We the new. Tell you, we the new school, bro. Like,
He said, "What is you is not a fixed point in existence, so you are projected as you can't be a fixed point in existence. Who the body is,
true.
we all have untitled. We all
And
have
it's funny how
unlimited
we saying the
potential."
same thing.
He said, "Yeah, you
You
definitely have to
can't
go
touch a
down and grow
damn
up."
thing.
Nah, I think, man, it's wild, right? Because we always say that the you and the I and
You're
these
here
things
watching how the body
don't
died.
exist, but the you and the I is the one that's always doing the talking.
You're here watching how the body died. You can't escape it.
Hey, the you and the I is the one that's always doing the talking.
Yeah.
Always, and it does that even when it's not here and it's with nobody. It's still talking in your mind. And who is it talking to? Because I asked it that. I said, "Wait, hold on. Who are you, and why are you talking to me? How come you've been talking to me all this time
my
and
whole life
my whole life?" And I,
before I knew
It sounds like somebody who already lived their life that's somewhere just remembering it in a casket somewhere. You know,
man,
like somewhere wrapped up in a mummy thing,
we're
in one of
all,
them
yeah,
tombs.
we're all a
What do you
reflection.
think that people are
That's
on
what I
mush?
feel
Well,
like.
who- where? How do you relate the thoughts in your
Wow,
head to the
I
things
must
that you see
it
on
would be in
mushrooms?
there.
True.
Wait, say that again.
How do you relate the things that goes on in your head to the your mushroom journeys?
Man, that's a good one. I think it's all the same. I think the mushroom journey is just what's going on in my head. To be 100,
That's a first
like
sentence. Yeah.
literally, I feel like that's what's going on in my head. Every
Uh-huh.
journey I had was already going on in my head. I just wasn't able to see it in the ways I was seeing it on the mushrooms. Been here, done that. That's what Tom said.
Mm-hmm.
Been there, done that.
Yeah, we had the movie. The words almost stopped going up right now, man. For real, for real.
That's just the
Hey,
script right there.
I'm
You know,
telling you, I just said, look, every time I try to not be I, me answer for I. And then I find out that me is I.
and that's why my daughter name is Isla.
And I told her I'll
Think
see you
about
when
all of
pigs
that.
can fly.
Exactly.
And who's the me? Who's the me that I never
I,
met?
of
That's
course.
looking through the eye.
Secret
I
And I
see it in
remember
the
like
mirror and I'm asking, is that
Roland
I?
giving me some lucid dream.
I
How
and
could I be
I.
so fly?
Subconscious
Why?
consciousness.
I
About
look
to rap
around, the
out right
streets
now.
are dirty, I let out a sigh.
Oh my, oh my. Why am I not high? I gave up tree. Now I want to die. Oh my, oh my. I wish I just can get high. But
Just dive.
exactly. That's all I'm gonna do is dive. I'm diving
Just
every
dive.
weekend.
Dive.
I'm diving
Dive
every
deep.
weekend for the next 3 months straight. Every weekend I'm diving in, bro.
Shit, I'm about to in a few seconds. I'm just
Yeah.
chilling.
Yeah, I gotta I'm like in the next couple of days I'm gonna have to dive in on the DMT though. I have to go back to
I
Exactly.
want me
DMT.
some of that.
Yeah.
I want me some of that.
You got it already. You just ain't smoked it. You just ain't smoked it yet.
I need that 5
Smoking
MEO
Skywalker
powder
OG right
forms.
now. Dang, man. Hey, y'all
In
can't.
that zone right
Everybody
now.
come in, they smoking blunts. You talk about smoking Skywalker OG. I can't even.
I'm about to have Enigma and albino penis envy in a few weeks.
Oh yeah.
I have a lot of it.
Oh damn.
Nice. At that point, if you have a little too much for the time being, maybe make like a tincture or something.
You can never have too
I
much.
usually just give it away. I was planning on giving it away to like some friends, my uncle, you
Oh,
know.
there you go.
Yeah, to
But
let them give
I
them a
wanna
chance.
like I need an ultrasonic extractor so I can make like powdered castles
I
and
missed her.
chocolates and shit, cause that would be like good as fuck.
Oh,
Oh
you can
yeah,
still do chocolates with the fruit, bro. You just gotta blend it up.
bro. You do the
Yeah, but it's
chocolates.
not
The
like
chocolates
the
is
extractor. Like you don't get the nausea at all. That's what
Put in
makes
an
people like
ounce of
not want to
Wait,
do
extra
it.
y'all get nausea from mushrooms?
I don't know. I take the strongest forms. I don't know if you're on golden teachers or something, but I'd be on like albino penis envy song or penis envy in general.
I mean,
Smoking
I've
that
taken
shred.
Rusty Whites,
I
Lizard
literally I
Kings,
break it up in my
penis
hand and I
envies.
chew that shit and I swallow it.
Well, right, that's what I'm
That's
saying.
I
But
took
the shrooms
one of
make
my
me feel good. They
first
don't
few
make me feel bad, man.
trips. I took 8 grams wet and I thought I could take 8 grams dry, and I did that.
What happened when you took the
I
8
wasn't
grams?
having my shit. She like left me in the call alone. I was talking about how we were like trapped and shit. We
What
were like
happened?
being harvested and shit.
What happened when you took the 8 grams wet though?
It was fun, bro. I had a fucking blast.
Cause I did that. I did that, and I didn't think
But
that
8
shit was
grams
gonna
dry,
work.
bro. I was literally gone off. I would close my eyes and I'd be gone off the earth,
Oh
and then I'd be
shit.
back, and then I'd be like, bro, I was in multiple lifetimes, bro. I was zooming out into the universe. It was crazy.
Did you ever leave your body?
The trees were talking
just
to
said
me,
he
and I was like,
did.
I feel bad for you trees because there's only one tree left on my block, and the tree was like telling me with its leaves and patterns and frequencies. It was like, I feel bad for you. You were cattle on a human farm. You only exist. They only want you to pay taxes. That's the only reason they want you here.
I
I was
asked him,
like,
nigga, how
damn.
you know about taxes?
He was like, look at your houses and all these apartments getting smaller and smaller, more gentrified. People are spending all day at work when they just want to go home to their daughter, sitting on a subway. And it was like, damn, bro, the tree feel bad for me, bro. I felt bad for the tree. The tree like turned that whole shit around on me, bro.
That's crazy, cause like when I did the thing with the trees, bro, it seemed like the trees was going through the same shit we was going through. It wasn't even too much different. Like
Yeah.
they was going through the same shit, and it's just weird because even you saying talking to a tree, you sound crazy right now.
But you know what I'm talking about.
I know what you're talking about. I talked to trees before,
Yeah, bro.
but me on the
Telling you,
outside
the
listening to somebody.
the tree's been speaking to each other for millions of years. The trees already communicate. Plants already communicate with each other. There's scientific
Why-
evidence of that too.
Why don't you take a little talk with the mycelial network?
Huh?
I mean, didn't Terrence McKenna always talk about how if you tuned into what the mushrooms were trying to tell you, you could always figure out something along the lines of a alien seeming intelligence that's connected in the same way the mycelial network connects in this.
Hey, if mushrooms
dirt
speak
itself.
English, how would they sound?
Like you?
Like us.
Bro, alien.
Right.
I was speaking. I started hearing the patterns once. Oh, bro, when I was 8 grams wet, I started hearing like the patterns in the different words, and our words are like, they're almost like spells because every frequency and certain words have certain like connotations to them that affect our patterns of thinking, and you can use the same word in like different ways and it'll have a different effect. You know what I'm saying?
It's all about those entendres, bro. When I was psychotic one time, and this wasn't from mushrooms or nothing, I used to do triple entendres where I could say 3 things at once. And people couldn't understand what I was saying. And they were like, how the fuck are you doing that right now? And I'm like, I don't know.
You can't do that right now.
Dude, my mind's
could
not
try.
open, connected or not.
Say 3 things
But
at one
it's
time.
weird because you have to have that creative spark to do it. And I'm kind of tired right now.
No.
But what I would say is something along the lines of like, it's got to be a little bit vague, but it's got to be appropriate in order to make it work.
Yeah.
So I could say something like, if you opened up, then nothing would be closed.
Oh, okay. I get what you're saying now.
Mm.
But what you were saying about talking to the mycelium network, I think that's what you do anyway, bro. You that network is not just the plants and the trees.
If you find yourself in the moat, learn to float.
Well, you know how there's like the Akashic
Yeah,
record,
take no words
which
or
has
spells.
all astral information combined into one universally understandable medium?
You don't have to say shit.
Yeah, you don't, because when you get there, it's you, and you're like, wait a minute,
Yeah.
how I get all this? Wait,
Nah,
I've been
I know.
storing this up.
Like that was one of my experiences off the 4ACO. My older sons and then we were in the backyard and they were talking, and bro, everything they was saying, it was creating reality. Like reality was coming smooth out their mouth, and I'm like going, what the fuck? Like I didn't want to talk for like 2 days, bro. I just was shut down. I said, I'm not saying anything. I didn't know that's what words do.
You know, there's some people that believe if you say the right thing with the right intention, it has to come true.
That's how they feel. That's
But then
what
it
they
does.
see in
And you're
their
like,
mind.
dang, is it right or wrong? Who's to know?
It's those inner questioning workings that other people will bother with that they don't bother with.
There is no right
It's-
or wrong.
It's ways to see without overthinking. A lot of people are used to.
I mean-
not even that overthinking is a bad thing because we always getting what we're supposed to get. But
I mean, there's no
coming.
right or wrong. But there certainly is a ooh, ah, and an ouch. You know what I'm saying?
The thing is, the thing is like, there's no such thing as overthinking. But
Oh, there is.
whenever you think, you give your energy to whatever you're thinking about. And so there is a such thing as thinking about the wrong things, or thinking in the wrong way, or thinking in the wrong direction.
Unproductive
You know?
versus productive thinking.
It's
Which
not
has
even
its
just
gives and
about the
takes.
production. It's about the overall effect of
True,
thinking
you see the
itself.
game that the mind playing with the brain right now, right?
I'm just
Yeah.
watching it. I'm just watching it. That's what you gotta do sometimes. You gotta just let it go.
No, I'm just saying, like, just to show you, like, oh, it's real.
You gotta just let it.
I remember I had an experience like you said, True. I ain't talked to people for like 2 weeks. I ain't come on a podcast or nothing. And finally I started talking to people like we talk now, and the thoughts just started formulating like how y'all zoning in. We're just philosophizing. we're using these words to do this and put this together, but it's enjoyable.
You know,
And it's scary. It's
it was
everything
it
in
was
between.
it was weird, Ty, because once I shut down, reality did everything in its power to make me speak. And then it was asking me in a million different ways, why aren't you talking? Why ain't you communicating? Why ain't you doing this? And it was like, and it was saying it through everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
And like it,
Yeah.
that shit was hella weird though. Like
Because we thought we,
if you ain't
we thought we
saying
figured
nothing,
it all out. I
like,
figured it all out.
Get on your job, nigga.
yeah, get on
You
your
know, since
job.
language
and
is
continue to
made out of
create.
mind stuff, yo, does that mean that our thoughts are just as alive as we are?
I think so. I think it's
That's what I
all
was
If
bringing
alive.
up.
if it's a story, right? Then it's a story. It has a,
Mm-hmm.
you know how a story goes.
I think
Yeah.
I think everything.
You ever
I
realize
think
like the
everything
part
in
of your
reality
mind
is
it's like
alive.
this is me and I'm thinking is not like all of your mind. There's like parts of your mind that isn't like
Bro, that
the
part of
part
you
you're
that's this is
currently
me isn't
thinking
even
Meaning
with.
if
me,
it's a
bro. It
story,
goes way
somebody
deeper
knows
than
what's
that, bro.
next.
Holy fuck.
There is no
Like,
next.
all I can say is that when you get to the
Like
deepest
I
reach of
said,
it,
it depends on the situation.
if you it's like a blue screen on your
What's the
computer,
spill
like
of
when you
everything in
crash
your house?
and you see that error screen.
Stole my shit.
This is what it was like when I was tripping one time. I saw a crack in the sky, basically. That was the causal network of the universe, and it looked like a fractal tree of lightning, where every little choice led to another choice, which led
Yep.
to other choices splitting off into this gigantic, literal tree of life. And I saw it.
Yeah, infinite.
And
Did you
And
jump
that's
into it?
so.
well, what I realized is that I was
It
at the
was
fucking
it.
center of it. I was at the center of it. So I was like,
You saw
okay,
some
if
little
I'm the
Do you ever,
dots
central
on
do you
it.
person,
ever, dude? When I was leaving this earth, like when I was so high on mushrooms, bro, I would like come back gasping, and then I would like almost like pass out, and I wouldn't be
oh,
myself. And dude,
bro.
when I was leaving this earth, bro, this whole place is like a fractal, bro. And
Little,
there's parallel versions of you you just aren't experiencing right now, but they exist, and they are
Hello?
experiencing.
and
I'm
they
right here.
actually
Yeah.
living. Hey,
But
that's
our
what I seen. It
our
was like
perspective is just locked into like this zone right now. This is what we see. This is where our mind's
You're based
perspective
off
is.
your
it was
personality,
We are
though.
not
like
just here. We are
like
also so many other places.
if you look at the
Yeah, but
whole
like, where do you
world, if
think?
you look at like the whole
So
world,
did you see something like
and
the
you
grid
see
then?
if you look at the whole world, bro, and you in
So
your
good.
room compared to the whole world, and you see a little speck in the corner, bro, that was us within the whole reality. That was the world. It was like the universe was like a speck in the corner of my room.
Corner of your mind.
On my trip. That shit was
Well-
the corner like just right, just a little speck. It wasn't really nothing. It was some shit that can just blow away and not be here no more. And nothing would be missed. But like he said, like on them times where I left, when I came back, I didn't even recognize reality no more. Cause reality didn't exist to the places that I went to. This place wasn't even a thing. So when I got back and I was back here and I'm looking and I'm like, I didn't even fucking like this shit wasn't I didn't even know what it was.
Not
Do you see the
thing.
infinite
It's just
line?
that it's not what it is, but it is. It's just a cloak, you know. It's
What you
well,
mean
it's,
the
it's
infinite
always
line?
like that. Man. You know what I mean? It could be this, it could be that, it could be anything. It could be anything. You know what I mean?
It's gonna be
I mean, that's
whatever
what
you
they
want
say
it
about
to
the
be.
veil in magic. Sometimes it's a little thinner depending on
deep.
what you're doing.
Nothing is
You know,
actually
and just because of
solid.
the speed, how you gonna
Everything's
catch up with it? You know
apples
what I
and
mean? Like, you
solid
can't
to
even
like
catch up
sauce,
with
making
this.
solid through.
Mhm.
So everything
And that's
is
why I
just
brought up the
energy,
imagination, all
not
this
the
show.
physical. Yeah.
It's like, where do you think you are when you're thinking? Where are those thoughts? Where does that place exist? Is it as real as this, or is it something fake? Is it a fantasy, or is it another reality?
Like your dreams. Is your dreams another
But it
reality
ain't
or is they
question,
fake?
And how we
though.
attend to those thoughts, like,
I could tell
yeah,
that
that's why
though.
I think people bring up meditation and all those
Do
things.
you
And they
recognize
say,
the
you have a
cells
world
in
inside
your
of you.
left hand?
If you just breathe
No.
and see what's going on in your mind. And a lot of people try to tell you, this is what you're going to see in your mind. You need to think about this and that. And that's what we do all the time. We create checkpoints, breadcrumbs, whatnot. But as well, what
We
if
still safe. We still safe in a bird's nest,
Man,
like chilling.
we are the creators, bro.
Even when you meet your end,
We are the
that's it's gonna even
creators.
be a more comfortableness.
they got me? Ah!
If you
Yeah.
wasn't if you wasn't creating something, then what would you be doing?
If you wasn't creating something, then what would you be doing? Creating more illusions.
Yeah. You have to I think that's what we have to do, bro.
Because then we wouldn't have nothing to touch. We wouldn't have nowhere to go. We would just be sitting still on a chair looking.
It's like UL
The
said.
chair could be
You,
a rock.
you got to create a beginning, and you create so much stuff within the beginning before the ending. You're
But then
constantly creating.
you realize that that was for the creating thing. The whole point of using your hand was for you to not use your hands. You know, you're supposed to be able to. If it's really nothing, then you're supposed to be able to do it with your mind. That's the whole point. You know. So here we go. How do we do that? Yeah. You know.
He said, "How do you do that? When you sleep?"
Who's asking the question?
Yeah, who's asking that question? When you
Exactly.
when you sleep, you creating without using your hands and your body. Well, you using your mind.
Mhm. Hey, you remember back in the days when we was kids when we do the worst shit ever and you feel like, yo, I'm about to die right now. All we would have to do is just run and go to sleep real quick.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Sleep it off.
Go sleep real quick. You wake up like, hold up.
Hey, but that's wild because I did because every like he was talking about taking the wet mushrooms. Every time I think about that, because people say, man, if you eat them wet, nothing's gonna happen. That's a lie.
What do you
That,
mean nothing's gonna happen? That's
that's
extended release, baby.
yeah, that's what people told me. Like if you eat them fresh, like if like say you grew them and you picked them and you ate them, nothing's gonna happen. You're not gonna get a reaction.
Nah.
They just
Mm-mm.
trying to steal your mushrooms.
I will say one time I ate 2 G's, fell asleep, and didn't trip.
You didn't even dream.
Nah, I just woke up feeling great.
Yeah, cause I ate like I ate like probably 10 grams wet, and I walked like I was cool for a minute. I walked outside, came back in, everything was gears. I couldn't see shit. Like the whole house was gears turning, giant ones, big ones, small ones, all of them connected, just turning. You know what it reminded me of? Like how they talk about the atoms and how the atoms move. It was like that, like all different sizes, bro. That shit was hella crazy.
Mm.
But Sun Tzu, that time Sun Tzu was like, man, just take the. I think you just said just take the 5 or something like that or 8, and I did, bro. My whole mind was outside of my damn body. I was looking at it outside of itself, going, how the hell, bro? I don't know.
And then you're gonna ask a question like you just asked.
Yeah, yeah, that's not
All right,
you
where were
must.
you when you was looking at the body outside of yourself?
I was I was in the backyard.
Right, so maybe you ain't the body, right?
Nah, the body is asking the
You could
questions.
exist. The body could exist without it. The
I
body
didn't
could
say
exist without you.
I didn't say the light was asking the questions. The body was asking the questions.
Okay, okay.
It's a difference.
Gotcha.
You got to understand. I let the
Got me
body be
right
the
there.
body. So the body is
Got
going to
me
do
right there.
all these different things. And I just let the body do these things. I don't question him no more.
Right. I ain't playing no games. I mean, give a fuck if it go down the drain.
Man, man, I don't
I'm just
even.
living it to the best though. It ain't gonna happen like that because it ain't no though. Yeah.
I haven't ate wet ones ever. Yeah, remember I made the blue juice. I made the blue juice and everything. I think I done dove in every which way I can think of.
Yeah, man, you ever
Bro,
turn
I
into
be reusing
what other bean you
reusing
ever
those
turn
butter
into
bowls as
fully?
spaghetti bowls and like cereal and shit.
What you mean? What you mean? He said spaghetti bowls and cereal bowls. Nah, I ain't gonna lie, bro. That the most fascinating. I said that was probably the craziest shit I did ever. Just mixing that shit with the fucking. Damn, I literally just put it in the blender with the Don Julio, the mushrooms. It just came out slushy. Made a slushy with it with some ice cubes. That shit was slushy as hell. I said on my like but this weekend when I dive this weekend I'm gonna do what I did last time. I'm gonna, as soon as the mushrooms like begin to start to wear off, I'm gonna dive in on DMT. Cause I said you know it's like kind of weird, bro. Like you break through like instantly with the mushrooms and DMT. It's like an instant breakthrough. But it's kind of weird because like I think a breakthrough is kind of it throws me off now what everybody even say a breakthrough is. Because I broke through on shrooms so many different times that it's like it just doesn't make sense. I don't even fucking know what a breakthrough is no more. Like I don't get it. I don't get it.
But there is still something distinctive about a certain. See, we need to find a different word than it ain't a breakthrough. There's a regular spot that we stay going to that you can call a breakthrough too,
It's
but you know that ain't the sweet spot.
yeah, it's like
Yeah, yeah.
like I
Certain
don't
type
I'm
of
talking about
awareness.
with DMT.
I think man, bro, I don't know. It's something that we open up that just stays open. Cause like even if you just look at the sun or you're out in the sun, your pineal gland just get to burning like instantly. So I don't know if we even opening something or because at times I feel like whatever that is has always been there. We just never tried to fuck with it. We like like some of y'all never changed the spare tire on your car. You ain't never used your spare. It's there, but you just never used it. You never had a flat. You never had to change the tire, or you call somebody else to do it for you. Type shit. A self-limiting concept.
Man, I feel like we just, like just like the government, man, just selling a bunch of tricks. You feel me? Because there ain't nothing else to do. You feel me? Like that's pretty much it. Cause birds gonna pick up anything they see everything as feeding. You
Yeah.
know,
Nah.
and you just go through.
That was hey Sun Tzu. That was one of my best experiences though. To where everything was just a trick, a movie, like a show, a act.
Yeah,
No, it was nothing outside of that. It was like
because
the
you can
whole
say
world was a
anything.
TV show.
I ain't
Would it be
even
wrong
gonna
to just
say
call
that.
it a display of awareness?
A
It's not
display of
even
a,
that TV show. It could be whatever you want. It could be a TV show, and it could be something else too. It could be that as well.
it was like it was a
Be
TV
anything.
show, and it was like the thing that was within was putting on the show. Because no matter what it was doing, it was becoming whatever it was coming in contact with, whatever it was
On a show
thinking,
for
whatever
itself.
for itself, like literally
Yeah,
for itself.
itself.
And it's like I did that one so
So
good.
where so if it's putting on a show for itself, where are you in it? You're the you is the what it's living it through, right?
Yeah,
Hmm.
You're the rope, you're the vessel for yourself. So you're the it then, huh? You're the itself as well.
I would say so. I would say you're the all of it.
I mean, based on mathematics, you would be, right?
Yeah, you would be
Right.
all of it. I always that's the way I just feel right now. It's like you are the all of it. Like
But
almost like okay, like your heart. Your heart.
multiplications cause multiplication lead to multiple equations. So obviously you're gonna have other things, other people pop up too, having other dreams because you multiplying. So if other people dreaming, Well, obviously you're gonna
It
see
was
other people, and
intentionally
if this shit
filtered
been
out each
going on,
time
you're
you
gonna see
slip into
multiple
it.
of people walking around in this
It
shit.
would shake it
A
off.
part of a dream
Yeah,
of the original.
that shit is like
Mm.
your heart, bro. Like your heart is beating in your chest, but you're not watching your heart beat. You're not telling your heart to beat. Like, how you even know it's a heart in your chest that's actually beating? You just accept it, because this is what was told to you.
Oh, it's a heartbeat. You
That's
know,
what I'm saying.
right?
That's
Yeah,
how they
shit
used to play
crazy.
those old movies when they used to cut their skin and then they'll find robot pieces underneath of it. Like, I was a robot the whole time.
Yeah. hey, Ty, that's what I think we really are. Like, we just like really living robots because you can be programmed in any type of way. You can be like people can be
so,
programmed to believe and follow anything.
so true. So you the software for that body.
Basically,
You know what robot means in its original language, right?
what?
Slave.
Yeah, exactly, exactly.
Who
But
the
They just
programmer?
wanted machine slaves. That's all. But we're just
yeah,
biological ones.
yeah. When you go to work, you turn robot like a motherfucker. Everybody at the job doing the same thing you doing. You is a straight robot. Hey, it's funny
Hmm.
because every time, like when
Yeah,
I
so that
started,
means it was you the whole time. It was you 100 years ago, and it was you 300 years ago too, and it's you next
Setting
100 years
yourself
from
up.
now as well. And it's
as
also
well,
you upstairs operating that other operation inside of that insect as well,
man, every like it's this other bus driver dude. Every
et
every
cetera.
time
You
I
know what I
drive
mean?
by him, every time
Different
I
brains
drive
for
by him, he do
different
the robot.
things,
He go,
different brains.
hey, I never understood why he would do the robot every time I pass by. When he passed by on his bus, he'd do the robot. And I'm like, going, dang, it took about a week before I was like, oh yeah, we is just robots. We just doing the same thing they told us to do. They trained us to, yeah.
Yeah,
Damn.
man, we sure know to sell ourselves some dreams, though. I mean, robots
Oh,
would do
hell
something
yeah.
like that. You know what I mean,
You can
robots
slow
would do
time
that
down
type of
so
shit,
much
though.
it feels
Of
like
course,
you're
robots would think
not
they're
breathing.
playing basketball right now.
Tom said you can slow time down so much it feels like you're not breathing. Shit, when you on mushrooms,
Because you're not breathing.
you feel like you don't have to breathe. You'll forget to breathe
Yeah,
sometimes.
yeah. So now we know we're not.
You got to
So
tell
it's just
yourself,
something to
breathe.
hold the plot.
Just breathe. Just breathe. I think the whole time on the DMT experience, you don't breathe.
Word.
Yeah, on DMT,
You
it's
be trying not to breathe. You be trying not to breathe, like,
that's ego death.
that shit.
Hey, so Sun Tzu. So, now, like, do you? No, you ain't. I don't remember you ever talking about or ever having any kind of fear of diving in. So that wouldn't even be a question to ask you.
Uh, I mean, I've been to a
You
spot
tell me.
where it was
It
all
slows down
calculations,
too.
where this was it. You know what I mean? It's like I can just swimming around with this ultimatician. You know what I mean? Like what you would call the devil.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you just gotta catch him. You can't really catch him. It's nowhere else. You just gotta keep beating his mathematics. Some shit like that. You learn something from that. But that's the closest thing to fear I could get. But that really wasn't it either.
Yeah. What
But
is?
I dive in anytime.
I like I have like when it comes to diving, I have no fear. But I like what is really cryo? Is you still here?
Yeah, man. What's up?
What is ego death? Break that down for me. What is ego death?
Oh, bro. My easiest way to say it is this: when your face turns off, but your eyes are still open.
Huh?
If that makes sense. The mask is complete. The mask is completely removed, but you're still awake. Your senses are still turned on. You're in the
What's
Turiya
up,
state. You're in the
Exile?
fourth state. But like at the same time, your ego is still unmanifest, yet you can remember it. So it's like when you're in that temporary state of being out of the pocket of the ego, your consciousness is free from the reaches of what it once was for a temporary time. and it's like Quicksilver. It's that Mercury, that coincidence of opposites that shouldn't be possible, but paradoxically is. Like how when you think we're an ego, and then you have ego death, but you're still there. You're like, damn, what am I for real then? And I just stay consciousness because I don't know what it is.
I thought it was like that. That where you get to that blissful nothing state to where nothing exists. You have no thoughts. It's just like a silent darkness of nothing.
That's different than an ego death.
That's what I always thought it was. What's up, Exile?
Nah, when I hit ego death, bro, that's me like not dissociating, but like realizing that what I am on a higher level is way more fantastical and magical than an individual human unit of consciousness.
Let me wait, Exile. Exile. To you, what is ego death? Because I got to get a couple of different interpretations of it.
Ego death has been used by modern perspective to term dying to what we once have, and you guys have kind of touched on it. Sometimes we accumulate from our parents or from society or from certain experiences this idea of what we are, but what we are is experiencing this life through a temperamental or a limited construct called the body, the mind, the emotions, the energy. And so we can get to a higher level, we could call it a higher level or a more fundamental level. We can put it any kind of direction, but it's a core, you can say core essence that is making everything else possible. So it's ego death to me is kind of like stepping back from the things that we've accumulated to see and experience the core nature of reality. Instead of the things that we're thinking is true, we're experiencing what actually is true. Our eyes only see so much of the electromagnetic spectrum. Our ears only hear so many decibels high and low. I can only breathe so many times during the day. So having an ego death or having a transcendent experience, or there's also transcendence comes into it. It's not that the body, the mind, the emotions are necessarily bad, but they can be limiting as well. What can help us can also hurt us if it's not in balance. So that's what I see it as.
He said Carl Jung has a good book on it. It says it must be embraced or it will destroy you. It's ego telling you're on a higher level and must be slayed daily without using ego humble. Has nothing to do with what we accumulate. That's material. I must have had it backwards, bro. Can I
go out on a limb here?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so when he said core, Shivanga, it made me think of something. And this is gonna sound a little Terry McKinney for y'all, but
Terry McKinney.
It's like there's this torus of consciousness energy. And at the 0 point in the very center of the toroid is an infinite level of energy from stillness. Not motion, stillness. And in that psychic stillness is absolute peace. But the thing is, we all, as beings, are not still. We are rolling energy.
But that's what I was thinking, right? Because when I was in that place, that pitch blackness to where nothing existed and it was nothing, it felt like absolute peace. It was like the peaceful, the best feeling ever. Because I didn't have thoughts going through my head. I didn't know what a thought was. I was just like this pitch blackness that was nothing.
But here's the question. You still had perceptions, didn't you? You still had emotions.
No, I didn't have. It was nothing. It was nothing.
But how did you think it was peaceful or good then? How'd you have that quality?
Because afterwards of coming out of that place.
Take on it.
Yeah,
Okay,
afterwards
because
of coming
I
out
had
of
that
that
same
place.
thing then. Because where I
Ego
was,
death is
I was frozen. I couldn't mentally move anymore. Like I was paralyzed mentally. So it was like all my senses turned off. My consciousness was as off as it could be, but I still realized that I was still there.
Yeah.
I could tell that I was still there. And
Yeah.
for me at least, when I came through it and started to regain some conscious functions, my first thought was, holy shit, I'm God.
Yeah. That's what it be. No cryo, because I forgot what was happening, but then it just said poof, and it was like pitch blackness. And like it was nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Like I didn't exist, nothing existed. The only thing that I seen something like far away that looked like a light, right? And like being that I'm in nothingness, seeing the light, I just went towards the light. But UL said for most, an ego death is when they can't use their memory to wrap around their perception. But the ego, it does not die. We still don't know if a mind is needed. For
Ego is like goggles
that's
that we
what
use
happens
for
before the
deep
ego
sea
death.
diving.
Yeah.
Because if you have the full blown ego death, bro, for me at least, I was not cryo anymore. I was like just a body chilling.
Yeah.
And it was great.
Sometimes we put too much strain on what we're calling the ego to give it tasks to do that it's not really designed to do. Because our consciousness is using the ego, it is a limited construct, but it can be conversed with to kind of let it take its place. Remember, I always say, hey, I'm driving the car, you can get out right here, I'll stop on the freeway.
That's the crazy thing, bro, is the fact that the id and the super ego can sock puppet your monologue and give you thoughts that wouldn't otherwise be yours. But they are yours because they're from your brain, you know?
Hey, Anna, you're live on the mic.
Yeah, we live on YouTube right now. Anna.
The shampoo comes out. The shampoo comes out nice. I like
Anna.
how it keeps the shampoo.
She can't hear us.
It's not.
Just mute her. Like we have an admin
That's
here.
what I'm saying. Yep.
I did.
Thank you, Ty.
Thank you, guys.
Gotta give cryo admin for moments like this.
So it's not that there's this connotation that the ego has a specific quality. No, it just has capabilities. There's not an inherent good or bad, right or wrong to the ego. It just has certain qualities, and through that, we can perceive limitation. But working with it, right? When you're in the nothingness, there is an experience there, which then you can come back and then integrate. So there is in my opinion, this is my personal opinion, as long as there's an experience, there's some level of that ego.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, so
until you get to total unity to where there is no other, then you're going to have a perception that is fundamental to your own path or your own experience or whatever you're providing for the rest of the universe.
Yeah, UL said, just like here, people just put their words on belief and patterns on things to make them feel a certain way, and others to get that same expression through community or language. And he said, let's see, what's a conscious?
I was about to say something real quick.
Oh, go ahead.
So basically, form itself, is it a limitation or an expression? Because they would say the size of the cup limits its volume, but to me it indicates its use.
Well, your question is using logic and reason to divide something that has no division. There's a part of life that is good to look at with a scalpel and dissect. But then part of it does not need this hierarchy of whatever our logic and reason, breaking things down. A quick example is if I was to, if you guys were to dissect my voice, my throat right now, you're not going to find my voice. You can only find my voice when I'm a whole being and I'm speaking.
And your voice to every individual sounds different.
Right. Based on the connotations of whatever words I say, the tonality, you know, if I start screaming horrifically, if I start laughing, like, so we can modulate our own being, and that's good to, we're not really taught that, to establish our way of being first before we go out into the world. You know, sometimes it's like that DMT trip. Oh, I don't got my seatbelt on. I gotta go, gotta go, gotta go. But we have all got this learning ability to learn. We learn by doing. So we sometimes you gotta not put your seatbelt on before you blast off, or you know, there's not like a cookie cutter to everything. With our systems, we tend to do that. We tend to say, oh, use the hammer on the nail. But what if the dude uses a wrench on the nail, and that's what it had to be for that time. So these systems,
Exactly.
yo,
You know, to tell you how, well, everybody knows this because they dive in. All this calculation that we're doing right here, right now, that sound like it's this thing we build it up, or like what we call fear, or anything else. All that shit, it goes within not even a second once you dive in. There is no longer any questions about anything. You see me? And you still have this same brain we got right here, right now, where we have all these questions, the same shit, same calculation. You still know your address and your name over there, but you no longer have this thing we talking about. You know what I mean?
What experience
That's
gets
the
rid of the
crazy
questions?
part.
he's saying
Huh?
diving in.
Diving in when you're diving on some Dimitri. Like if I was to dive in right now, there would be no figuring out. There would be no nothing to figure out about this existence. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean when
There would be no pigs or chickens or eggs. You understand what I'm saying? No McDonald's or no Burger King or wondering why that building is there. You know what I mean? It wouldn't be a thought inside a cryo's head right now. For real.
That's it. That's true, but
I've
that's
dove in
funny.
before, but what happened to me is
Whole
I just
shit
felt like
don't
I
hit.
was swimming in my brain.
No. I'm
That's
just
all.
saying this whole life shit is like it's just stretched out for no reason. Like, well, what we call it, the way I would perceive it. Well, me, you know what I mean? So that's the beautiful thing about it. That's not even nothing wrong. That's the good thing. You know,
Whoa,
piece of
whoa!
cake.
My brain just hit me. It hit me with a thunderbolt. The reason why we're conscious is because we caught a glimpse of time itself, and we're stuck in
You
that for a
know,
little bit.
a little
It's
stretched
like
out
we're
when it's just time.
it's like we're moving through it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Each of us have different experiences, talents, flavors, styles to now project and reflect on creation. Each of us are a fundamental facet of creation and worthy of creation. Now, our perspectives can differ. I can feel I'm unworthy. I can feel I'm unacceptable. I can feel that I'm not supposed to be here. But the simple fact that I'm able to have those choices should show me that, hey, I'm worthy of thinking that I'm not worthy. I'm when we're not entrusting something, we're actually are trusting something, but we're trusting the other side of it. You know, there's not really a owner's manual. There's not really a step-by-step how to 1, 2, 3, 4 for each person. Each person gets to decide those. There might be a overarching template to where, yeah, you got to breathe, you got to eat some food, you got to, you know, human interaction is good. Certain things that are, you know, we could put down on the list, but deja vu is right to where I've experienced this through psychedelics. I've experienced this also through Kriya, Kriya's inner work, Kriya yoga. So there's many ways to get to that bliss point, to get to that peace point, to get to that. And yeah, we can offer things, but then forcing, hey, you've got to only, you know, you got to wait 2 weeks before you take a trip. No, that's not you know, you got to only do this on Sundays. You got to, no. Like,
Yeah, you know,
That's
or
the start.
you can just still the mind, you know. Some people just don't know how to still their mind. They think they have to do a process. Maybe they could just think no past, no future, right? Just try to train your mind, like just tell, hey, there is no past. What if there was no past or no future? Where would you be? And stay right there in that space right there. and just watch your atmosphere as of then and there. You know, you ain't gotta really try too hard. Just do that, and you'll see no thoughts can pop up. You know, and just stay in that electricity and vibrate like Eric B. right there. Yeah, man. That's it. You don't really
Yeah.
need nothing else. And then you just keep going and keep going. Where you gonna go?
True. Where do you think ego death is?
I don't know. I told you I thought it was that pitch blackness of not knowing anything,
Bliss.
of not understanding nothing, just not know, just darkness, nothing, the
Yeah,
nothingness.
that shit was bliss.
Facts. Bliss realm.
And you talking
That
about
is when I
future?
realized
Wait,
my body shut down.
and Sun Tzu, you talking about future? I had to look it up in the dictionary. It said future. The definition is the time or a period of time following the moment of speaking or writing. Time regarded as still to come.
Right. So no past, no future.
So
Because you're just telling your brain to be conscious. It's not like you're telling it to be dumb, as it sounds. You know what I mean? Because it's actually the realest shit you could ever hear. So if you practice it and pay attention, you know, you stay right there. You know, you'll find your magic right there. You know?
Yeah.
and
Dive in with that train of thought too, and you'll see that you'll just go in that explosion.
and the definition of past is gone by in time and no longer existing.
So why would you go either way?
Okay, 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 okay. What the fuck?
It the past is the past and the future are created now. Now.
Yeah.
Now. They're created now and right now.
They're
Yeah.
just staying the now.
But
And
here's
just,
the question: why I gotta feel so rude?
Man. But if the past is no longer existing, why do we try to make it keep existing?
Because you're living the same day every day, and you're trying to make it not seem that way.
The body's written with karma,
And then-
with action,
Yeah.
and memory. Everything, our cells divide because of memory. I know what to say in specific scenarios because I've learned how to speak, or walk, or get food, or talk.
People are trying
bunch
to
of things,
figure
right?
out this-
Or you know the right thing that should be
Yeah,
said at that
people into their
particular moment.
matrix. He
Let's
said,
just
UL
say the
said,
mnemonic vibrations
UL
got
said,
constructive interference.
he said,
which
but
makes it
if
for
unless
memory.
he said because everything people are trying to figure out is the stuff they've created and put into their matrix.
Exactly.
Voided is just a
Yeah.
form of people call of what people call what is you can fracture into some perceiving and some unaware.
Yeah, I would say yes and no personally because they're only anybody who creates any system is only taking from what's available. I like how Nabi said that we can't create anything. We're just recycling, repurposing, rephrasing, remembering, recognizing,
Yeah, it's
and so we
funny
can
how
get stuck
everything
into
is-
purple, white, black, blue, 1 + 1 = 2, yada yada yada. This is how you talk when you're wearing your shoe.
but they
But
both
it's also
right
a-
though, you know.
You're right, exactly. It's not like the paradoxes are in conflict. It's just
The
that
part that you're
duality.
doing-
It's,
My bad. Go ahead.
Wait a minute.
That- what's
no,
up,
they're both
Dwayne?
existing
Ego
at the
death,
same time, and they're
process of
actually helping
separating
each other.
oneself from
The
individual
things that are in
identity
that
we
look
are.
like they're in conflict are actually working together.
That's what I was gonna
Oh,
show
okay.
you. Like that's what you gotta still
Yo,
show.
Wait,
Like
Dwayne.
your point of view,
I
just
gotta
to
ask
show
you
that
all a
there's more
Wait, hold
tension
on.
in the
Let's
elastic
let
as
me
a rubber band.
let me say what Dwayne just said. He said ego death, the process of separating oneself from the individual identity we think we are and becoming one with all and everything source. Something like that anyway.
It leads to that. First you gonna get to the oh shit, and then you gonna get to the what the fuck, and then you gonna get to the oh.
Oh. What was you gonna say, Cryo?
I just typed it. Is
Oh,
it
damn.
like when your visual field splits and you get mini me's that are each individual use? Because that happened to me on acid once.
It's like
But they
the
all,
you
but
with
they all.
no.
The thing is, they all connected back together into one, so it was cool.
It's like the you without the other.
Yeah.
It's
And
like
we
the
can
you without
experience
the.
that without having psychedelics. You know, like Deja Vu said, we can just either because of how we were raised or because of a specific choice or however we felt that day. Hey, I'm making this choice to experience this life this way. Fuck everybody else. You know, thank you for your opportunities, but I'm going to do it like this now.
And it goes back to what Jew said: thoughts are not ours.
No, I just realized that the conditioning that everybody went, well, not everybody, I guess some people, some people special, you know, I guess, but the conditioning make us think that we need leaders, or we need to join a certain race, or we need to compete with each other. The systems we create with ourselves is what, in ourselves is what causes the competition, really. So we can't really say nothing about that. That's our own inner fun game. But everything else based off of this conditioning, bro. So, we go to school, we got teachers, we got to listen to them, and they have a certain hierarchy in every single thing in your job, and your this and your that. You're the man at the house, and you go to the job, and you're a little man. You know what I mean? Shit like that, and
Yeah.
you have all types of shit to bounce around in, but you still, the whole point of all those appearances is for you to still remember that it is appearing for you, you know? So that means you don't have to fold to the situation. You understand? Or else it wouldn't appear. And
You
then again, you're not special at the same time, you know?
so,
So that means you don't have to step in the situation and be like, well, I'm the man, so I demand. No. You just hold your
no.
ground and neither,
So
neither good nor bad. Go ahead, bro.
so exile. If the thoughts are not ours, whose are they?
They're a part of creation, and a lot of the thoughts can be turned good or bad, right or wrong. But it's the way that we're using these things. And sometimes, yeah, I picked up, how to say a specific word from somebody. I learned all these words from somebody else.
You stole them.
And I do think that, like Rupert Sheldrake, and I think it's called biomorphic resonance, like the 100th monkey, that we are a group. We do have a group think mentality sometime, or if we're receptive to that.
you know
Go
what's
ahead.
you know what's funny? Sun Tzu. Because it
Yeah.
comes all the way back around. So if the thoughts are not ours, and you go, whose are they? And the body is not ours, whose is it then?
Well, exactly. That's where that's an important delineation, because if I
It's
accept
cosmetics.
everything as mine and I don't try to cut it up and say, this is mine, this is not mine. This is sacred, this is
Exactly.
not sacred. This is good, but this is bad.
There we go.
If I just take it all in one gulp, then it's total liberation. It's total bliss, total peace. I don't got to choose whether to respond to him right now or whether to respond to you. I'm just going to keep saying what I'm going to say. And if it's right, it's going to come out. Who cares if it's mine or yours or this or that? If we're all sitting in the
Exactly.
same room, we're breathing the same air. Where did I get this body from? I got it from eating some food. Where did the food come from? The food came from the earth or some water. How
So
many
it's
times
not
has the water
about
been drank
it
if I'm
being
drinking
mine.
water? The
You know what I
water's been
mean?
recycled millions and millions of times. Where did the light come from? Well, the light came from specific energy, mass formations,
Yeah.
gravity. Put a whole bunch of words on it, but this thing has been doing this thing for a long, 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 long time. And the word is not the thing, right? A rose doesn't care if I call it sweet or a dog or whatever it is. The rose is going to still smell the way it does. So
This
it's
whole
either all
existence
mine
could be how it
or
yawns.
none of it's
It's what
mine.
it's thinking.
If it's all mine, it's easier to be sacred and live in a societal space, because if I don't think any of these things are mine, there's a confrontation now when talking to other people who can see things as sacred, can see that there's a connection, can see that, this is just their own path and perception, of course. But personally, I don't see a separation between matter and spirit, between what's mine and what's not mine. Everything is mine. My responsibility is actually endless.
Hey, it's
My
wow.
actions may be limited, but
It's
I can
wow.
respond to anything in life.
You know what? You know what makes it crazy, Exile, right? Because okay, everything that you claim to be yours, right? What if you treat it like your phone, right? If you lose your phone, like that feeling of losing your phone and going everywhere and looking for it and thinking somebody got it or all these different things. What if that happens with everything that you claim to be yours?
Then the devotion, treat everything like your baby is a premature, doesn't know if it's going to live to see tomorrow. If we treated everything with that level of respect and dedication and presence, with that level of presence of just being there to witness this being's life, there's no double thought. I don't got to think about the future or the past. No, I'm just simply being in whatever atmosphere I find myself in at that time.
Yeah.
What are things? What are things?
These things.
Hold on. What are these things that we're trying to own? What's a phone? You know what I mean? Like, what's a car? Are these things to even question, to even ask God? You know what I mean? Like, why am I don't have a phone? Oh, I need a car. You know what I mean? Like, what are those things?
If I lose,
is that even a question?
If I lose my phone, I'm going to pray to God that I find it.
Hey, and you're gonna hide it.
Thoughts and even the body all belong to the experience. Anything beyond that, it gets too complicated. UL said it's what it's thinking. It owns the bodies. It takes them backs and put them 6 feet under. Ownership is part of a limitation. And Dwayne said, I want to say the thoughts and even the body all belong to the experience.
Right
anything beyond that, it gets too complicated. Yeah, that is. Hey, it takes it back and it puts it 6 feet under.
I think that's what they're scared of, the part when they go 6 feet under. I think that's like the ultimate punchline. Like they think everybody worried about that part.
That's the part. That's the part everybody worried about, especially when the body starts shutting down and like part of the body don't work no more. You be like, hey.
Let me ask you a question. So let's talk about that. But we kind of bouncing around that part right there. So, all right, what you want to hold on for? Why the body? Why you want to hold the body here for? When it's time for it to go. When it's that time.
And that's okay, but to go deeper with that, what it's trying to hold here is it the body or the mind trying to hold one or the other? Which one is actually trying to hold the other?
No, I'm talking to the person, whoever just said, I'm gonna try to, whatever you just said. You said you would try to, you had that thing in your head, like, man, I want to stay here.
Yeah, that's it. Why do you think everybody become vegan and all the different things in order to prolong the life?
No, I'm not saying they're right. That's why I'm asking you, so you can speak on behalf of them too. I'm asking all of you.
That's what I was asking them too, like, because I was confused because I said.
Because y'all sit here, you talk about all these things about what happened when you dive in and what you're realizing, and how much, man, fuck the body, man. This is all this shit, and then. When you recognize, you learn the lesson that, it ain't really the body that's everything. Yeah, this is this experience, blah, blah, blah. When that day comes, you don't need to cry. You don't need to be like, God, please. You know what I mean? Like, that's not it.
That's what a lot of people do. Like I said, like if they lose their phone, if you lose a body part, you gonna cry about it like you lost your phone. I mean
if you lose a part, no, that's different.
But look, Jew said, he said thoughts are not material, because we got to understand that everything in this reality is actually atoms. It's all made up of one thing.
Thought is what brought it into your damn reality. It gotta be matter.
Yeah. Multiple process before the form of human came into play, run away from what they call death, knowing it will always catch them because that's what they are. Yeah,
It's like they think of a sting, like it's going something gonna sting him. Like, yeah, it's gonna sting me. Yes, I know that. You know, it's gonna sting the body, and I'm gonna have to hold that for the body, though. But guess what? I'm the reason why this is the reason why I'm here to make sure the body, this thing that thinks it's the body, get through clear. Like, you'll be all right, bro. Come on. That's
yeah.
why I'm here. You feel me?
You'll be okay.
Yeah.
Maybe.
That's you. That's the fear. That's
Maybe.
still
Nah, I'm
reason why
not.
they create. Now hold up. That maybe is why they came up with all these tricks, with all this matrix, because that's still that maybe. So they could create any illusion because of that maybe.
And I think
Because they
that's
know that they'll suck the nipple bottle because of that maybe.
I think that's
Yeah,
what the
maybe.
body did. It came up with all these different things in order to project
Yeah.
a possibility of saving itself or an
And then you
aspect
got
of
some
itself.
people think everybody's scared to die or something, so they could tickle them with that. Nah.
Yeah. Oh dang, I don't know. Yeah, I think that's what I think everybody actually wants to, like, we have to create all these other things because that's, the fight or flight type thing to do is, create all these other things outside of what's going on right here right now. Because
Oh, Jesus.
we got to create the afterlife, this other thing, so
I ain't gonna lie to y'all, bro. I feel like to tell you the truth, bro, I'm lying to y'all because I think I know exactly what's going on. But to sound normal, we gotta say these things. The way everybody else understand it, just so we don't have a bunch of, but how comes and how da 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 da.
yeah.
I think we all know exactly what's going on, or
What?
maybe not though. You know what I mean?
What? That it really all don't
That
mean
is
shit?
just say that again.
I said really that it all don't mean shit. None of it
You can
means
get a little
anything.
deep, get a little deeper than that too, but
You
we
feel
can
me?
say that.
Nothing
You know
means
what I mean?
anything. You feel me? It
Get a
never
little
did.
deeper than
It
that.
never will.
Yeah.
That part. That part. You can't say
That's the
that.
that part right there is like that's too easy to say. That means that wouldn't be there's nothing to be said. I mean, there might be something to be said, but we don't have to say it. You know what I mean?
It's,
It's gonna happen
you
anyway.
have to.
It's that
You
part that you
upset. You
can't
have
hide.
to
It's
create
that
all
part
of
that
it.
you gotta face. You know what I mean? That part that you gotta face. It don't make no sense even saying it because the day will come. You feel me?
Yeah.
That shit crazy.
You gonna see? Yeah, that day, your last day, you gonna say, I did all that shit for nothing. The day the earth stood still.
Oh, that's what that was.
Yeah, like, wait, what the hell? Like, you already know because we went so deep to where we
Oh, there
seen,
is no that.
yeah, we seen
Man,
ourselves playing the game and playing the trick on ourselves. And
man.
and that was the part.
Change clothes.
Yeah, but I think
And clothes.
that ain't the part. That ain't the part everybody want to hear. Everybody want to hear heaven and hell and angels, and they want to play.
Now
So
everybody
you,
running because they realize that there's this thing inside of them that they running from. You feel me? So it's like they trying to find a way out, but they might not know. But that's what the body is doing. Something inside of them trying to find a way out, and then something else trying to stay, and then something stuck in between, and then it just manifests as whatever is appearing on their screen.
yeah, because I
Call
think
it out. They call it the algorithm.
I think the mind was made in order to keep hope alive.
Yo,
The
this shit
mind
is wild.
the mind keeps hope alive because it passes it on over and over and over again in many different ways.
It could be whatever you want, bro. That's what I realize. It could be anything, and it's everything. That's why it's no thing, because it's the whole thing. It's no one thing.
Yeah, I'm still stuck on it all just being a reflection of your own mind. And everybody else, everybody is
But when you
sharing
said
that
that
one
your
thing.
own mind, you make it sound like you got a map of it. There is no map of that mind, so you don't have a mind. You don't
It's
have no mind.
but it actually has to be a map if you can see the future on
Says the science.
experiences.
Who could see the future? This
What
is the future.
I'm
What
saying,
you talking about?
I'm saying
There is no time, bro. Everything
when
we're
you
talking
have
about, Transformers, the cartoon, all that shit is right now.
it
You just
is.
ain't here.
It is, but at the same
It's
time, if
all
you
right
get
now.
if you see something 3 years from now on the experience and then you get 3 years from now and it happens, what the fuck is that?
Man, they just spoon feeding y'all. That's all I can tell you, bro. It's just like, all right, should we tell them now?
Man, I feel like everything happened already and it's just
That's
happening
it,
again.
bro. That's pretty much it. The movie is already finished, bro.
Yeah,
You
it's
just
just
got a bunch of gatekeepers. A bunch of people that just try to keep the bullshit alive. You feel me? And
yeah, I think
I
it's
ain't
just
got time for
I
a
think
monkey
the
right now,
I
so I
think the
ain't got time
movie
to talk.
I think I think the movie is just happening again because we couldn't believe the movie that we made, so we said we got to watch this shit again.
How could the movie ever end if
It
it was a
can't.
movie to begin? Like, you know what I mean? Like, you're still talking.
Yeah, once the play got pressed, it was over. Once they pressed play on the
Yeah.
movie, it was over.
We came in the movie and we got caught up because we saw the audience was looking at us. So the movie will never end because everybody's stuck in their position. Because now there's this thing that's missing. The other piece of the ladder, we climb to go up is what we're looking at. We're looking for. We think it's something gonna come out of the
When you
sky, but
take
it's
all the
already
ripples out
here.
of the water,
It's
you can
within
see
you and I,
yourself within yourself. Time doesn't.
just waking them up slowly,
UL
but they
said
ain't gonna realize.
UL said when you take all the ripples out the water, you can see yourself, and then yourself time doesn't exist, neither does space.
Right. I mean, how could
That's
it be?
that's the wild thing. I think that's the part that's just kind of hard to like accept that everything is just like there's no like to me like there's no space in between anything.
Yeah, but if a rock wasn't hard and an iron wasn't that hard, you know what I mean? You wouldn't think that. That's the problem. Remember when we was kids, we knew that was true, but because the rock was so hard and the piece of steel was like, nah, well, how comes I can't punch this? You know what I mean? And then we figured we got caught in that matrix right there too.
We used to have rock fights, remember? When we was
Yeah,
right, we knew
yeah,
they was
right.
hard. We used to throw them at each other. You feel me? Like we didn't care. That's like when you actually treated the reality like like you had 100% control of it.
But
And
yeah, man, dragons like to dream, you know? Dragons like to dream, and dragons got a lot of things going with them, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, that's all I could say.
the the dream within the dream within the dream. That's why I think it's just so many layers to the self or to each individual that is just like it's an
Oh,
infinite
God,
amount of
yeah.
layers. It's just an infinite amount of layers. And the higher yous or the other aspects of you, you're not gonna be able you don't see on a daily. Even though they're playing out through the reality, through what you're doing.
Man, all I know is if you on the mic and if you're listening to these motherfuckers, you already made it. That's all I got to
Exactly.
say. I ain't got
Exactly.
time. You feel me?
Exactly. Yourself isn't just the one body. That's you perceive it now. What is you?
Whoever that is.
Use the pain to make you,
Crazy.
to make yourself, or whatever this is.
Oh, God.
I think
I'm going
that
to
too,
tell
though.
you
I think we
again.
know. Rock fights used to be fun when you're winning. I remember we had a rock fight when I stayed in Stockton. Oh man, I got hit in the head with a rock. I still got the mark right today. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know, bro. I don't know. I think every existence is just like I said. That shit is just one
I don't
existence.
know. Hey, I don't know. It's part of your very own cloak, because you know exactly, because
You know, you know.
But that's what I'm trying to say. We cloaked up. You cloaked up without doing it, unintentionally or intentionally. You feel me? Like, even the language is a part of this shit. The language making a joke of you, making a joke of everything, everybody. And if you really listen to it,
Language is in on the joke.
I mean, like even the smallest joke,
Like
smallest thing, you can reword it to be
like you don't want to
dangerous.
see, bro. You don't want to see a movie or a story where it seemed like the actors are not act, or where it seemed like they're acting. You want it to be real. When you go into
Hmm.
McDonald's to go get McDonald's, you want the workers to act like they work at McDonald's. You don't want them to act like, they don't work there. You want them to be able to take your order and go back there and get on the fries and make your burger, okay? If they don't do that, the first thing you go is, where's the manager, okay? Y'all not acting
You
like
know,
y'all work here.
one of the things keeping this down
I
to
think he
true.
hears
The
God.
people like you
Could be
probably
Satan
wondering how the fuck
looking
all these
in the mercy
countries
of
in
his
on it
hand.
together. You know what I mean? Like
Real.
all these motherfuckers working together, like not working together, but just hiding the same old secret because they gotta know. So that
Yeah.
means they're working together, right? So who the fuck is they and who the fuck is us and what are we doing here? You know what I mean? Enjoying the crumbs, right? Okay, cool.
This is a good
We'll
one
play
for you.
around.
This Jew got a good one for you, Sunzu. He said like when one think he hears God, could be Satan when looking inwards. Are you seeing your false or your real self?
So when one thinks he hears good, when he looks at himself, is he hearing his boss or his real self?
Yeah, so well when you on the experience and you think that you're talking to God, what if you're talking to Satan?
I mean, sometimes it don't matter. It could be either or. It don't matter. You just can't rock with anybody. You can't rock with neither.
Yeah.
Why you need somebody to hold your hand for? I don't understand. Like why? That's what I'm saying. That's how you got caught in this shit. Like why we think we looking for somebody to this? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think that's what made my experiences a lot better is when I cut sugar. I mean God and Satan. Satan. When I cut Satan out of my diet, I'm just saying, I cut Satan all the way out because it's kind of weird when you're diving in, and 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 like if something is showing you something, it doesn't have to be good or bad because you're the one putting the good and bad on it. So no matter what, it's like being out in the world and somebody's talking to you and saying something to you. You don't know if they're good. They can be good or they can be bad. It just depends on
No,
how you take it.
there gotta be a reason why those two entities are paying attention to you. You feel me? Why
Yeah,
would they be? Why would the God and the devil, you know what I mean, be on my trip?
yeah,
You
yeah,
know what I mean?
yeah. That
Okay, cool. All right, well,
because of the story.
I ain't buying what you're selling.
It
Oh, the
is
story.
the
So that
story.
makes it even worse.
Yes,
That makes it even worse. That make it even worse. I
because
mean,
the
it's the
story.
story. Where's the book? Where's the book? Give me the book. Let me see what this is.
You got to, because of the story.
Give me the, give me the
But
book over here while we over here on the
the
trip.
truth
So
is
that way we go
always
back to earth.
relative to unjust,
All
as
right.
lies are perceived through you, yet could be truth. Yeah, I think I
Let's
don't know,
see. Go
bro,
back.
because
Yeah.
I never, I figured it just everything was just became a story. It wasn't no truth. It wasn't no lies. It just was. And I never could understand that because that was one of the things I used to always get told. Like, what if you talking to demons? What
Remember,
if
your
those are
parents used to
demons?
tell parents used to tell us, and family members used to tell a lot of stories back in the day. That was a thing in the in our culture too.
Yeah.
It was all about stories. We always wanted to hear stories, bro. And you know, the scary stories. Kids used to love those. You know what I mean? So of course you're gonna grow up fooling yourself. You started
Yeah.
fooling yourself since you started listening to the stories.
I think once I stepped outside of that, I didn't never look at it. Like I stopped looking at it like, like
You
once
ain't
I
gonna
once
know
I
that.
killed the devil was like the boogeyman. You feel me? Like the devil was the boogeyman, period, to me. Because everything that was going on when somebody did something, or like I looked at it as being the devil, or I looked at it as being evil. And it's like once I cut the devil and God, not the creator of all things or that thing, whatever that is, that light thing that is
Right, right,
shining.
right.
Once I cut God and the devil out of my stories, I could only see people doing the things that they chose to do. And that's what it always been, and yeah, I think
That's
God,
it right there.
yeah,
That's it right there.
because
Exactly what you just said.
they always didn't hear that the devil was like the boogeyman. Like, when you was little and they said that you better go to bed. If you don't go to sleep when it's dark, the boogeyman gonna get you. And it was like, dang, you feel me?
No,
Like,
but the thing is, the boogeyman can get you. I ain't gonna try to fool nobody. The boogeyman can show up out of nowhere. For real, a boogeyman can show up out of nowhere. But the thing is, you gotta believe in it and be scared of the boogeyman.
yeah, yeah, basically, you gotta be
You know what I
scared.
mean? So if you ain't looking for no boogeyman, you ain't sitting there scared in your room for no reason.
See, because
And yeah,
we,
but then you got some people who have problems in
one
life,
is doing,
who hearing voices and stuff like
say,
that.
because
That's a different situation. I ain't making no fun of those type of people, but it's pretty much the same thing.
he said, because
Yeah.
we've been fed a narrative, and have been indoctrinated since we supposedly were birthed. And UL said, this one is doing it for his truth, projected by the beliefs and memories that he merged together from his environment, and the others are doing the same. They call it war. Hey, you know what's crazy, Sun Tzu, though? I think that was like one of the thoughts that I had today when I was walking, and I seen the Jehovah Witnesses out there. You know how they be, spreading the word
Yeah.
of Jehovah and stuff like that. And I seen them out there, and I was thinking of being young when I was young, and my aunt taking us to the Kingdom Hall, and then they had us going door to door. It seems like they learn to like instill a lot of things in you as a child, because if they put it there, then those things are going to exist within you. Once you grow up, they're going to live within you. So it's like once they give it to you, you got it. You got it. It's hard to
So
break that.
if you notice, or I don't know about your parents, but my parents, I'm gonna just say our parents, they raised us different from how we raised our kids. They raised us like they knew exactly what they was doing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But we raised them like, all right, well, we prepared to handle whatever comes up. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know
And
what I mean? Yeah.
but like really, when you just go back and you start to look, you
When
start
I
to
say they
see.
knew exactly what they was doing, meaning like they was working with something else, like they was doing bringing down some culture, lineage type thing, sewing it
Yeah.
into your very
Yeah.
upbringing. Yeah,
Yeah, and they'll tell you, like, because this is what your grandmother taught me, and this is what I was
right.
shown by your grandmother. But it's like
Yeah,
it's kind of weird, bro. It's like over time as you grow up, and you kind of, when you start going this way, you kind of grow out of a lot of things, and you don't look at it the same way, because you start to see, even with religion and the belief systems that they had, they demonized other belief systems that was outside of theirs. So once you demon, they
nah.
did.
Y'all just got freaky. Y'all just got freaky. People just got freaky. They started wanting to do
Do
whatever
you
they
think
want to
that
do, and they
you
wanted
only
a
learn to
reason to do
listen,
whatever
or
they
do you
want to do.
remember learning
You
to
know what I
not
mean? So we
listen
kind
as
of like
well?
forgot
Both.
the things that we used to ground ourselves with back in the day. The things that are older folks will look at us like, look at them young boys. They don't know what they do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But no, in the longer run, we're realizing, oh shit, you know what I mean? It ain't that we even did anything wrong, but I kind of see what they was doing. But for my time, this is what needed to be done. I still caught the lesson though. I
Yeah, I still,
appreciate
yeah,
it.
yeah. That's what I say.
Yeah,
I appreciate it because I caught the
yeah,
lesson. I understood it. But
yeah.
it was an older lady today was saying that was like, why them boys wear their pants all the way down there? I don't think that's. And I said, remember when you was young and you was doing stuff, and the older folks couldn't understand why you was doing what you was doing when you was teenagers. Yeah, that's the same reason right there. Like everybody did that. Every generation did that and said, hey, why is that generation doing this? They shouldn't do that. It's like times is always changing.
That the
But
most gangster people that we whatever we consider gangster to be, no, we wouldn't think that's it. That's what it was in them bell bottom pants and certain type of shit that they used to wear. I think they do.
they,
Understand?
in the 70s they had the tightest pants, the
Yeah.
tightest jeans. They had half shirts that came just to right
See,
here. Dudes had the
even though the Jamaicans trying to bring it back, they say that I for them people gay. So nah, hell no, you couldn't do that shit today,
yeah.
bro. Man,
Do you think that you only learn to listen, or do you remember learning to not listen as well? Both.
I
Both.
remember the fact that somebody was trying
It's
to tell
just
me to
it's all
learn
just
something
programming.
or remember something.
I think Sun Tzu, like a lot of stuff that I was told by my parents, I didn't hear until I got older. Wait, what you say? He said I talk with aliens. We all do. Hey, it sounds
Tell me
crazy.
something new.
It's the some techno said I talk with aliens. Like we all have talked to aliens.
Tell us something new.
Yeah, tell us something new. What did the aliens say to you? Coming to Discord, how many times did your parents beat you and tell you not to do something, and you using the ability not to listen went and did it anyway all the time? I remember I got beat and I ran away. I ran away during the beating. She told my brother to go get a switch. While he was going to get the switch, I hopped out the window. Like, I'm not taking these ass whoopings no more. I'm 15. At all. Can you remember and comprehend your conversation? Uh, yeah, I remember everything that happened. Like, at that time, if we talking about the same thing, well, yeah, I remember everything that happened. I was going against what I was told to do because I felt like I didn't have to listen because my mom's wasn't in the house. I'm living with my aunt, and my mom's, her rib got broke, so that's when she came and stayed with us for a little bit. She was trying to have me do something that I felt like everybody else should have been doing because it was their stuff. She had me cleaning up everybody else's mess, and I didn't want to do it. And then I was angry.
What
People
they
chose
talking
the
about? How you
program.
used to get a whipping?
Just that. How many times did your parents beat you and tell you not to do something, and you using the ability not to listen, went and did it anyway? He talking about that. He said
Oh
people.
shit, I used to do that all day. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? But not even with parents. I used to get caning at school. I don't know if you ever went to school
yeah,
in Jamaica, but we used to get caning.
yeah,
So you know,
yeah. We call it the paddle. We call it the paddle. They don't do it no more, but we used to get the paddle. I got the paddle a gang of times. People chose the programming that they would
I don't know, but
accept. It
I
wasn't truly forced upon
wish
them,
we had
even
a
when
battle.
people thought they were doing the forcing. Yeah, we had the paddle, but I always went against the rules. I like even in prison. Like I always went against the rules for some reason, not on purpose. Looking at something
To
hovering
got to.
in the sky, southern Colorado. Oh dang, bro! You seeing a UFO on the spot when somebody just came in and said they talk with aliens. It's like
Yes,
That's what I think. Half the time when we go in and we see like Anubis and Vishnu and Krishna and these different gods, and we had conversations with them, I think they aliens. I hate to say it.
Yeah, they probably just in
I
suits, just trying to talk to us.
think-
Because I swear there was one time when I had this lucid dream, which was like an astral experience where these two ladies, right? They had their hair that was blood red and it ran down to their ankles. It was freaky. I couldn't move my body for some reason in this experience. That was like a sleep paralysis thing, maybe. I don't know. But they were like talking about how they were gonna eat me. So I was like, shit. I don't really know.
What? Hey, the one I seen this alien thing, I don't know. It looked weird as hell. It looked like say something that was mixed with like alien, human, and robot.
Right.
And it was like working on this big ass fucking like say like a iPad that didn't have the pad, just say the glass, but everything could pop up like on the iPad or something, and it was gigantic, and she was doing so it was I know it was a female because it was doing something on it, and then she looked back and she seen me and was like, wait, what the fuck? And like made a certain face and then started hitting some other buttons and shit, and then it disappeared. And I was like, what the hell was that? Like, I didn't have no recollection of what the hell. Like I've seen even great aliens, bro, and I still don't believe in aliens. I hate to say it. Or alien just means
How can
unknown
you not
terrestrial.
believe in aliens knowing full damn well there's so many different forms of us out there already?
Because for the simple fact, I don't want one to pop up at my house in a UFO and pick me up and take me cryo, okay?
You think just because you believe in them, they think you're like that?
Yeah. Everything else I
Nah.
believe in, it just comes.
I
just
mean, I had a
saying.
UFO type B hostage style trip on acid one time where I was dragged through a hallway by two genies.
Oh, damn. What did the genies look like?
I couldn't see them. I was in a bag.
Oh, shit.
But they were saying a bunch of mean shit about how I wasn't able to control my mind as well as they were and how they were way more powerful than me. It was really rough.
So you just let them just take you?
I couldn't move.
What did they do with you?
They just kept dragging me down the hallway till I wriggled my way back into my body.
Oh, shit. You know what? You know what I'll be thinking, Cryo? Okay, right.
I'd be getting in trouble with the astral cops.
No, I believe it, but I think sometimes I wonder that space. Okay, say that light that we are in there, and that space in between the light where it takes the light the time to get to here and see this reality. I be thinking there's a lot of shit going on within that space between
Well, it's
what
all
we
about
were.
fields, baby.
Yeah,
It's
but
like the excitation of the field means that because light travels instantaneously, right? Speed of light is almost infinite. They say there's a good number for it, but when you look at it with relativity and shit, it's massless basically. So for it, it's instant. And what I'm saying is, it's the field itself that excites, and that field is present at all times and is connected to all things. So it's almost like what's really
What
going
happens
on
in
is
the
that the light
in-between?
is always present, whether it's on or off.
But still, that like UL said, a lot happens in between. See that in between space. That's what I think is
What is
like.
that? Ask him what is that a lot that happens.
Yeah, what is that? A lot that happens, like all different types of realities, is what I think.
Is that
He
what
said
he's
if you
saying,
really
though?
want to know about the in between, Sally D. In between, yeah, Sally. Oh man.
So we could all be on the same page.
Yeah, what is that in between? What is that a lot that's happening in the in
We know
between?
what we saying, what we talking about, the same thing.
Because I always feel like that's why when you do DMT, sometimes you go through the tunnel. You go through the tunnel, and that tunnel Is like you never did that. You never went to sleep and like when you woke up, like say you waking up and you go through the tunnel, like you'll go through a tunnel and you'll be back here. You go through that same DMT tunnel that you fly through when you on DMT before you get to the other realities. Oh, what's up with it, Dave? Dang, your mic ain't working. But no, yeah, he said, what is that though, UL? A lot.
What's the things that are
What's that? He say,
Beetlejuice, nigga?
he said, what caused light to arise out of darkness like Lucifer and Christ light bearers of Venus the morning? Huh. Yeah, Beetlejuice. You went through that door and that other reality on the other side, the death side. Yeah.
Man,
You had to
what
wait
Beetlejuice?
behind.
That means Beetlejuice did something to see that.
Beelzebub.
Don't worry about Beetlejuice.
Beelzebub. Yeah, I don't know, bro. I don't, but I think
That's Beetlejuice who made the movie Beetlejuice.
whoever made it, because they had the book and shit that tell you about the other side. When you get to the other side, you get the book. How come a lot of the death stories be like that though?
Booker made it, man. Only Booker made it. That's what I'm saying. So
Yeah,
I don't know what the
Booker
fuck we
made
worried
the
about.
book.
Booker the one behind the door too. The fuck we got worried about?
No, I think that's the part that I think that'll scare everybody. That's the scariest thing to see, is to see yourself behind the curtain that you thought that the world was.
They scared of the dragon. They scared of the snake. They scared of the little tricks that it does and the speed that it got. But nah, man.
That's the you. That's the you that's saying you scared of the things. And then when you get
even if it ain't the you, it still got you.
Yeah.
It already
the veil
got
is
you.
this thing is your existence.
It already
The
got
veil
you.
is the veil is thin. The veil is this thing is your existence. Nah, that's the thing. When you like Wizard of Oz, bro, when Toto pulled that curtain back and the Wizard of Oz was just a normal man. Like when they pulled that curtain back on me, the gestures, when I seen behind that curtain that I thought was reality, that I was creating, bro, it was me behind there laughing at everything it scared. Every scary thing I was scared of, bro, I could see it and it was just laughing. My other self that understood everything was just laughing, going, see? Dopest storyteller of all is yourself. See, there's no fabric in the curtains. Reality, we pierced it. He said, Temple of the Doom. The first time I ate LSD was some good GD family white blotter. Like 1994, I was 16 and I tripped my balls off. Just incredible psychedelia. This was the Freedom Fest 1994 Woodstock Festival. Oh my God, I bet you that was crazy. Temple of Doom, I bet that was wild. How did Dorothy go home after they got on the balloons to go home? See, she said there's no place like home, but she always had the power. She always had it. No matter like, and that was crazy that she had to click the two heels together that she got from the queen that she killed in the beginning, and they took the ruby slippers off and put them on to her. You can see a midget hanging in that scene. Jesus Christ, acid to drop in my eye. What the hell? What? Oh my God! I heard of the LSD drops. I never had a chance to take them though. That I think, dang, one day it'll come. But yeah, Dorothy clicked them heels together. That's how she got to the house. Right down the road from the original site. Always at one point, I remember like smoking a joint and sitting down on the grass in the early evening, and the sun had rings of clouds around it, like Saturn. Damn. Golly, how long did that last?
Yo,
Go ahead, Sunzu. And the clouds melted into spirits flying in circles around the sun. Dang. Yeah, that's wild. That sound like a dope one. That sound like a dope experience. I want to hear more. I want to hear more, Temple of Doomed. What's up, Dave? What's wrong with your mic?
You're right, true.
Oh, I hear you. I hear you.
You hear me?
Yeah, I hear you now.
Yeah, how you doing?
I'm doing good.
What's up, Sunzu? You good? How you
That's
not doing?
It's when you rub salve in your eye. You
Yeah, I just thought I'd just chime in quickly and see if everyone's good. And I was listening to you explain your trip the other day, and I had a similar trip, like literally like 3 days ago, and I was like, wow, because all of my trips, my high level trips, the thing that I always get to where I can't accept it is when I'm told that everything I've ever known is gonna be forgotten. And that always snaps me out the trip. I just like, it's like a do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
You get what I mean? Like, I was even saying that before, but the other day I had a trip where I took some mushrooms, and I was in my living room with my friend, and then I started to feel like I was connected to everything. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna lay down and close my eyes. So as I lay down and closed my eyes, I saw myself in this like heaven realm. That's the only way I could put it. It was like everything was beautiful, the plants, like there was everything about it was like what you would say is like a heaven realm, the way it felt, everything. And then I saw myself putting up my middle finger to the heaven, and I was like, F you! Yeah. And then like I was laying there, after I did that, I saw myself getting pushed down into this darkness. And then when I hit the darkness, I was like, why did I was trying to figure out why I did that. Why I was like, F you. So when I was in the darkness now, I started to see all of these dragons and all of these different type of dragons form, because I have these dragons I see. It doesn't matter what type of mushroom or like DMT, I always see these beings. So I saw the dragons, and they were explaining to me like I did, like I couldn't accept the fact that everything was gonna get lost. You know, like everything in existence is gonna change one day, and I wanted things to kind of keep the same. Yeah. And then this is why I was saying to God, F you, because I didn't want to go through coming here again and then getting refreshed back to the beginning over and over again. So I just couldn't take it. Do you get what I mean? I couldn't take it. So even to God, I was like, F you, as I was coming down here.
Like, what do you mean? Everything is going to be forgotten.
Yeah.
You tried to hold on.
And that's the thing was like what started to happen recently, where that's been like a theme of like because when you go into the trip, your whole thing is to let go and let go of all of these things. But it's like nothing else snaps me out of the trip like that. I could see like negative looking entities, ugly entities, everything that don't snap me out. But that's the only thing what I feel like is deep in my spirit where it's like the path of like the Buddha. The Buddha is to understand. The whole thing of the Buddha is like to understand what their self, get the true understanding of what's going on within their inner universe. And
Or
this is what I've just be. Do you get what I'm saying? I feel like I don't know
what you
because
think that is?
it did.
So based on your calculation, what you think is going on?
I think that that because do you know what? It's hard to say because every time that happens and I'm getting sent down, I feel like I'm in the heaven realm, but I don't feel like it's God sending me down here. I feel like it's like a different entity. What like? Cause I don't know. I don't know.
But that
This is
makes
what I'm
sense,
trying to
though, right?
figure out,
But,
and then
but
this is why.
but does that make sense,
This
though,
is
right?
why. What do you mean?
That it wouldn't be God that's throwing you down; it would be another entity. If you're asking a
Yeah,
question while you're down here,
yeah, it's
right?
true.
I
Yeah,
mean, if that's what you're
Temple will
using to
do.
calculate it, then yeah, that's the mathematical calculation to that. So yeah, you're right. You know. So, but
and I've
that
just
doesn't
been trying
mean.
to work.
But the good news is you you was at that other spot. So if that's so, that means you're thinking heaven and hell. So if that's what you're thinking, then you already know you're seeing that space. So that's where you're headed. So enjoy your life, man.
Do you know what? Yeah, I don't. I believe, there's heaven and hell states of mind and states of living. Yeah, but
Yeah.
I don't believe in heaven and hell as a whole. I believe
So where did
that
you go to?
we
Or one of those states?
yeah, one of those states, one of those
Yeah.
existences, because it's like this. It's like we live on this planet, and we have so many different realms in this one planet. If you go to Antarctica, it's a complete different
Mr.
realm than if you
Ball.
go to the desert.
Proof
If you
of my
go to the
soul.
city, it's a different realm. The
Yeah.
the we
But if
got
I
many
go to my
realms on this
if I go
one
to my
realm.
grandma's house, if I go to my grandma's house, that's the alternate realm though. So we each got a certain place where you could go. I think you said this the last time we spoke too. Like you could go back to your hometown or your area or something, and you feel like you get a refresh or something, a reset. You know what I mean? Where
Yeah,
you came up as a kid. So it's like, you know,
Like your heaven,
it's
I
all
think
good.
at times I think your heaven would be all the good things that you put in the good box that you got, and then you got the bad box, and then you got the semi good box, and you got all these different boxes of things that you have within yourself. And then when you go into that box that just got that one thing in it, you experience that one thing without without the others, with the other things being like kind of separated from it. At times that's what I be feeling like.
yeah,
So it's like that ugly
it's
box, you
true.
go into that. And then that be like that
Uh,
fear and fear of this, fear of that, fear of the dark, fear of the and it's like you go into the light and then it got the light and it's like kind of weird, bro.
Yeah, it's true. But with me, like anytime I take like the psychedelics, I always try and go into
It's
the
what
darkest
happens
places. And usually when you do that, it's
like
just
it's
deep to
not
yourself.
anticipating.
And you
how
see
do you
like
do that?
yeah.
No, how do you do that? What do you mean you try to go into the darkest places? You mean a dark room?
No, do you
No,
know
the
when like
ugliest parts, the
you're in
ugliest.
when your eyes are closed and
Yeah.
then like you could see yourself traveling. I
Uh,
project my mind to the darkest places and then go into there.
yeah,
Yeah,
but the
That's what
thing
I do.
what I'm asking you is that exact place that you projected, that creation. that you consider to be dark. Where did that come from? A movie on Earth?
Well, no, it's just something in my subconscious.
Or something,
It's
whatever you
something
want to
what
create. Something that look fearful to you, bring fear to you.
Like your deepest fears.
No, it's not. No, the darkness ain't based on fear. I'm not scared when I'm doing it. I don't see darkness. When I'm saying
Okay,
darkness, I'm
okay,
not
okay.
talking about good and bad.
Okay.
I'm talking about
Gotcha.
like
So when you said dark,
You
what
know
do you
what I
mean?
mean?
I think it's
When you
like the
said dark, what do you
ugliest.
mean?
Like when I'm saying darkness, I'm talking about into like more of the hidden realm, the hidden
Okay.
self,
Yeah,
the
I think
hidden
Okay.
places.
like I
Oh
Because
yeah, that's home. That's
yeah,
home, man.
I think it'd be like the ugliest, most fearfulest parts of in you that exists or some shit. Like all the
Okay,
ugly,
okay.
where all the ugly
yeah,
things are.
Maybe right on you,
yeah,
right under your skin, right there. You just gotta zoom up a little bit closer. Yeah, man. They right there. They ain't
And
too
that
far.
yeah,
and I know that because I said, dang, I said that, you get through that point to where, you seen all like a lot of beautiful stuff. It's like, okay, show me the ugly stuff. And then you get there and it be ugly while you there, but then it don't be as ugly as you thought it was going to be. It's like, why did I scare myself of being scared of this place or scared of this thing? Like almost being scared of death. It's like, why did
Cause
I?
it's feeding off. Cause it's feeding. It's like something. It's like something inside you, like a parasite, feeding off of you,
Yeah.
in a sense. So it's sucking on you like a tick. In this realm all here, would be sucking. You pick it up off the grass. It's like that's how they latched on to you, like a whole bunch of ticks, but they under your skin. You know what I mean? So so on a trip, I zoomed up. I'm like, hold up, this shit look like gold. It looked like like keys, like a keyboard,
What's up,
yeah,
like the piano
Ghostface?
keys, but it was like
What's up,
gold and all
Chris?
type of shiny shit. So I just zoomed in. I went closer, and the closer I get, I'm like, hold up, two. They all turned. It turned around and looked at me. They got eyes instantly, and then because I didn't have no fear, I kept going closer. Then they started screaming. And I'm like, hold up, fuck this shit. And I blew the whole shit up. And I blew the whole shit up, right? So I'm saying I'm like, I can't believe this shit. So I blew it up. And when I came back here, it's like I felt all type of light, like I felt light as a feather.
Because
You feel
dating
me?
an ugly
Like
woman
all
is
type of
scary.
shit gone.
yeah,
Yeah, man.
yeah.
You know.
Like I like it was a lot. Like I
You're
went into the
saying that you
place.
had a. Oh, sorry.
No, I went into the that suicidal place, bro, and I like I wanted to see it, bro, and like people that are stuck in that place in reality, in real reality, I was able to better understand it and see how they couldn't like escape that thing, that feeling or
Yeah,
whatever it was. That shit was crazy because it even when I thought of something that was happy or something that was good, it's like it'll be good for a minute and then it'll go okay, but this thing right here is why it's all more better because it'll take me right back to it, bro. And it was like, golly, I said, I can
Yeah.
understand. You feel me? Why a lot of people, off themselves because that's that feeling that they had. So
No, because that thing is them. You know what I
that
mean?
yeah,
That's the
it's
thing.
them.
We
They
trying to
can't
push it on
escape it.
somebody else. We talk about it. They are. It's them, and it's them. No, it's you.
It's them. You
So
can't.
some people recognize that shit and be like, well, fuck this life then. Nah, it ain't that serious. You can fix that shit easy.
And like me, I think Dave, with me diving in and like wanting to see the scary stuff, like it made me better understand how we created fear of the darkness, and our fear of the darkness from a long time ago turned into all these things that it is now. That fear of the
yeah,
darkness turned into it became its own entity and birthed other entities.
yeah. It's
Yeah,
true.
yeah, things can creep through.
'Cause it's
I seen that shit.
No, I'm not saying that they can't, but we the ones created them. We the ones made them because those things that
Yeah,
can creep through, like they can creep through and they can harm them over there, but why they can't harm you?
yeah. They can't harm you, but they can definitely alter your reality if you fall for the illusion in a certain sense.
And that's what I'm saying. See, they can alter theirs, but how come they can't alter yours?
If your
But
mind
you
is
know
strong,
what it is like,
I've
See,
seen them
couldn't
because
expect
I
the Lord
understand
just
what
to
you're
ride
saying,
in
True.
hell. Yeah.
Sorry.
Oh, thanks, pale horse. No, go ahead. I'll just be talking to the chat as we be going.
Yeah, because I understand what you're saying. Because I've had that same it's spirit, a similar experience where I felt that feeling as well, and it's like it's like it's like what I was saying about like the piece of paper, like um, it, when you go into the mushroom realm or the psychedelic realm, a lot of the realms are endless. So it's like when you feel that feeling of like the hopelessness, it goes to the furthest regions where it's like where it's like what you're saying. I had that same thing where I was thinking, right, like that's how people actually feel like there's no escape within that feeling. Do
Yeah.
you get what I'm saying? Because I don't really dwell on things for too long. If I feel sad, then I might feel sad for a few days, and then that's it. Do you get what I'm saying? I'm not someone who tries to hold on to them type of feelings.
Yeah,
Do you get what I mean?
yeah, it lasts for a little bit and then you be out of it. You go into the next place. But Jew said he said humans did not create darkness. See, it's kind of weird, right? Because darkness always been, but we labeled it and put a label on darkness and we made it something bad. When I say create, it's like almost like me, like I didn't create you, but in a sense, the you that exists within me, I created. The you that you are, that you created, is different than the you that I created and made and said this is you. It's not the same. It's not the same you. That's two different yous. The one that I see and the one that you see. But the one that I see is actually not you. If you get what I'm saying. That's like how the darkness, like with the darkness, because like when we were like didn't have what we have now, like the darkness, that's when animals could come and just snatch us up, lions or whatever, and just drag us off. Like so them were the times we wouldn't go out at night. That was like the scariest time, like people coming up missing and different things like that. So the darkness always been something scary to us. And then over time, the darkness became like the evil thing, because that's where you know a lot of shit happened, bro. I don't know, but that's the just one of the ways I was kind of seeing it on the experience, and then how it evolved. Like, you know, a lot of things that we know today evolved over time. Even the devil wasn't even what it is back then. The way what it is now, it's something totally different than what it was when it started.
According to the story. I mean,
yeah, according to the story.
We're not talking about an actual thing here.
Yeah.
We're talking about a story, a bunch of words here.
Yeah, basically. Basically, it was almost. It remind you know what it reminded me of, Sun Tzu? Of the stories that they used to tell us at the campfire. You feel me? When you go camping and at nighttime when they had a fire, they try to tell you all these scary stories to have you scared.
I'm not saying that there is no temptation and stuff like that. You know, like something that there's nothing that triggers you to do something that you don't think is morally correct. I'm just saying what we picture in our mind, we think devil and God. That ain't what we talking about.
Yeah. No, I know what you're saying. I'm just adding to. But I don't know. It should be weird.
Like with that one, what I've discovered through the psychedelics is that you become conscious when the realm is already there. This is what I realized. Like, there has to be something there for you to become conscious of it. And that's what I saw. So say like if you got a bee, like a bunch of bees in a beehive, and they're all flying they're collecting all the different nectar from all the different plants. And then you got one bee one day what says, why am I doing this? Like, why am I here? Why am I doing this? It 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 will become conscious when it's already in the realm.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
You ever use an Oculus before? Like Oculus,
Yeah.
like the VR headsets. Imagine, imagine you couldn't take it off, right? But you knew you was
That's
wearing
true,
an
Jew.
Oculus, but you know what I mean? But so your eyes, the eyes that you're looking through right now, the real you that's talking to us is the one that's looking through those eyeballs, and I'm not talking about something that's inside of your skin. So I think that's that thing, that little layer right there, is why we have all these things to say while we're down here. But when we get over there, the questions disappear because that thing that was looking through the eyeball, that's what you, that's what you just went. That's what you just.
He said, "Devil God are with us."
Wait a minute. Doesn't that mean when we look at our own mind, we can only say, "What's this? What's this?"
That's what you always saying. Or look at this. Look at this.
It's like this. It's like this. Yeah. It's like in all of these different mythologies, it's either. Yeah, there's no form, but like even in all of these mythologies, they say there was either a void, or it was darkness, or all of these things, and then it became conscious of itself.
The body.
I mean, it didn't have a choice, you know. Consciousness is like it gets created by itself because the mechanism is there for it to appear.
Yeah.
So you don't exist.
Yeah. There's something I got shown when I left, like when I had that trip where I was like, F you to God, and then I came down here. It was like that's when I started to realize that it's like you're already there when you become conscious of yourself. You could only become conscious of yourself when you're already there. So it's like you're there before you're conscious of yourself. You existed before you was conscious of yourself.
Oh, right now you're in a limited state of being. You know what I mean?
That's scary, Dave.
You're in a body, you're in a limited state.
That's hella scary.
Yeah, you was asleep. You was asleep before you was awake.
The void is the darkness.
It's like what I was saying, like with like the bees. Yeah, the bee is on automatic. It's born. The bees have a group consciousness. Yeah, where it's all run by that one entity, the queen. Yeah, so they're all like programs what just go out, get the pollen to make sure that that organism lives on. But the bees are conscious of going to get the flowers, to going to get the pollen and things like that. But until
West Side,
until there's a day where the bee, we don't know what's in a bee's mind, but until the bee says, why am I doing this, it will be already in the realm when it becomes conscious of itself. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yep. It's one mind, you know. So they can't see each other as separate. They're more, I guess we could say they're more conscious than us. You know what I mean? So, you know what I mean? They just don't see anything as separate. It's a process. So if this bee died, it doesn't think, oh my God, my existence is over, like silly humans.
No.
You understand? So it's like they already know what time it is. They already know what they're doing. We're the only ones that think like this because that's what we're designed to do.
You seen the bee movie, bro? You seen the bee movie? He said one bee dies, another one takes its place. That's the same with us.
Yeah.
We just come with a lot of thoughts and ideas behind it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Become
Yeah.
enlightened, you don't need it like Ram Doss or Grayscale. Yeah, man, you get to that point to like, oh, they're talking about the psychedelics. He said psychedelics don't have to be led. Don't wait. Psychedelics don't have to lead you to anything profound. You can fight. You can resist the insights, and you can be so dim as not to be able to expand your mind. And then he said, also, you have to keep using them, or eventually you regress to the baseline and kind of forget most of what you learned, lived it, and seen it. Nah, I don't think that's true. Cause like I feel like me now when I dive in, I'm not looking for anything. Like you know how people like to smoke
Yeah.
weed or people like to have a drink of alcohol. I like to dive in, but when I dive in, I'm not looking for anything anymore. I'm not searching. I don't have nothing to find. I feel like everything was already here and we already had it all. We just didn't realize it. That you already had
Yep.
it, that you was already it. You just didn't understand that. So it like now when I dive, it's just I like the visuals. I like to just dive in, but my I don't have no set reason. Like, okay, well, I'm trying to figure this out or I'm trying to know this, and it's like, nah, not no more, bro. It's nothing to be looked for. It's nothing to be
No,
obtained.
Yep.
You already it.
that's the best way to do it. Because I feel like when you go into
Weapon
there
of
looking for
choice, so
something,
that can be
you don't get
or lucid
like
in the
like
transition.
when I first started taking it. That's what I used to do. I used to write down my intentions, all of that, light a candle, and just focus on what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
But for a while now, I haven't done that, and I feel like you get more personal
Crash. All right,
information.
Temple of
You
Doom.
get shown things what you don't know, you didn't know that you needed to know. I feel like
Yeah.
when you have an intention, you're trying to stir it in your subconscious to where you want it to go. Do you get what I'm saying? And
you
then
try,
yeah,
you trying to control reality like you trying to do now. That's what I feel like. So it's
yeah,
like once I let go of trying to have an intention, that's when everything opened up to me. And it was like because I don't like I got to the point to where I said, "Dang!" I said I'm diving in and I want all these things, but these are things that my body wants. Like really, in actuality, I don't know what I want, and I don't know what I need, and I don't know what I need to see. And once I let go of that shit, like it was like now it's like almost like just going to Nebraska and never been in Nebraska. It's just
yeah.
totally different now.
No, it's true.
That's why you
No,
just
it's
go in
true.
without wanting to know
Yeah,
anything, and I'll let you know everything. Yeah,
yeah. I feel like
it's not about what you want to. It's just another gateway that you limit yourself through. Yeah, it's kind of weird, bro. So Ram Doss actually got his ticket punched. Jeez. Oh, that's
He's
one
enlightened.
thing, huh?
He's enlightened now.
Yeah, that's what I always felt like. I felt like a lot of people were going in like almost like feeling like psychedelics was gonna save them from the world or save them from their self. Because the only thing that has you in fear of the world is the you that you created, is the I. That's what has you in fear of the world and what's going on in the world. That's why every time, like a lot of times when we come in and you get to that, like I got to that point to where I see everything is happening. And people always say, well, what about this? You don't think that this is wrong? And it's like, okay, I can run around here and I can think and point out everything that's wrong and that's right. It's not going to stop it from happening. That's the thing.
yeah,
Like
yeah,
it's not going to stop it. I just know I'm not doing anything wrong. I'm not harming nobody. I'm being, better. I'm being the better that I need to be for everybody. I can't stop everybody else from doing it. And that's just part of it. And it's something everything
At the
that's going
same
on.
time, you're not doing it.
Yeah, I'm not doing it. But everything that's
You know.
happening now is nothing new. It's been going on since ancient Egypt. Do your research. It's been going
Everything
on.
gotta X itself out.
Yeah, like
Everything cleans
slavery,
up after itself.
death. I'm just saying, robberies, famine, people starving to death. It's been going on forever, and nobody, no, it's not one person that's gonna walk this earth and be able to just go stop and everything just stop doing what it's doing.
Because ain't nothing wrong. Ain't nothing wrong that's going on. That's the mind playing another trick again.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
You know what
Right
I?
now, we 40% in the lostness again. Right now, but we just forgot for a second. But that's how deep it happens. That's how quick it happens. It's psych you out, loopholes or whatever they want to
Yeah.
call it. Yeah,
I always
yeah.
explain it like, okay, you say, okay, when you see that lion or that tiger run down there and grab that baby deer from the parent and eat it, what we say, oh, that's nature. But if it happened to a human, it's different. Oh, that's bad. When it's happening in the human world and things are happening to the youngins or, or to whoever, we say it's bad. But in nature, when it happens, we'll say, oh, that's nature. When you see a bird kicking eggs out the nest or going, I can't take care of all these babies, and it just push one of the babies out the nest, we go, oh, that's nature. But when a human does it, it's like, nah, it's not nature anymore. It's because we had to do certain things in order to protect ourselves from ourselves. We had to create all these different stories and existences and different lives in order
Nah,
to save us from
that's what
ourselves,
we
to keep
did.
our
That's what we
existence going.
did. That's what we did because we was babies. You know what I mean? But the truth is, we working with a higher consciousness, like morality, blah blah blah. You know what I mean? Like the shit's supposed to work by itself. To tell you the truth, like we shouldn't need somebody to have to tell us to do right or what is right and what is wrong. That's why there's a right and wrong. When there is no right and wrong, you feel
We
me?
created right and
So
wrong. I hate this.
yeah,
That's the way I feel because, like I said, like if an alligator snatch a hyena that's just trying to have a drink of water, we don't say that's wrong. We sit
yeah,
there and
but
we
that shit
watch.
ain't going. It should, that wouldn't happen to me and you. Like we wouldn't go kill our brother next door if we was working on the level that we on right now. On, in the times when they was doing that like crazy, which
Yeah,
is right now too.
but
But
but it's still happening right now. Like that
that's what
right
I'm
there,
saying.
yeah, it's
But the
still
thing
happening.
is,
It's like we
everybody
not
is
doing
not
it.
never. Everybody ain't on this state of mind. They can't do it to me though. Is what I'm saying. Because I'm
Yeah,
on this state. They can't come into that with me. You understand? And neither can they do that to you unless you go in the middle of the thing and think they could do it to you. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
oh shit, I'm out. Look at these. They look like wolves. And yeah, they're gonna turn into wolves. you
yeah.
know?
But that's like when you see the wolves, you just know, oh shit, I was a wolf at one time. I was a lion. I was a
hmm
hyena. So so I can walk with the lions. I can walk with the wolves. I can
I
walk
ain't
with the
even
people.
gotta walk. I ain't gotta walk with it. I could walk through 'em.
Exactly.
I could. It could be. I
Exactly.
could be whatever.
Exactly. Which is crazy. But it's true.
Yeah.
And I hate to say that. I hate to say that. It's crazy, bro. I see some lions today. They was on one. They was about to start a whole ruckus. And like my partner, he from where I'm from, kind of sort of the shit. He went up there and calmed it all down. I said, golly. I said, dang, okay, and then like that's what we turned into now. We ain't for all the ruckus and the bull and all that no more. But it was a time to where we was hungry as lions out there. We was the
We
lion. We
was just
was the
learning how
aggressor.
to maneuver.
But
We was just
yeah,
getting to this point where we at right now.
yeah,
You know, a lot of people didn't get to this point where we at right now,
yeah,
but they
yeah.
still did in a certain way.
They
Cause
still
he doing
did.
it for 'em.
They had to make certain things had to happen in order for us to see it happen and go, hey, well, maybe I don't want to do that anymore. Lost
No,
a
cause
lot of
some people
people.
drop out. Some people drop out because the eye didn't wake up in them possibly at the time. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Because if it wake up in you, pretty much just gotta watch for accidents.
But I think
You still could make mistakes.
that what he was saying about the bee and the bee, that's how I always felt like though, Dave. I felt like you wake up in the body. You can wake up in the body at any given time. At any given time and actually realize and see yourself and go, what the fuck is going on? Like just like that, like any given time. Like you can be 50, you can be 3, you can be 5, and you'll wake up and you'll just understand shit and say, wait, I'm not supposed to be doing this, or this ain't supposed to be going on. Like you'll wake up.
But can you accept? What if you wake up one day? Can you and you never was the body? Can you accept that you never ever was a true life story?
Exactly. I did it many a times.
Yeah.
No,
I
not
did
only
it.
that. Like you never
Like,
even was the one that did this. You know what I
man,
mean? Like imagine that. I mean, like what? Like it just keep bouncing out of those. Like damn. Yeah,
exactly.
man. It
Almost like
trickles down that trickle effect crazy.
I feel like that's what life is. Just like the
Yeah.
thoughts, how we run through the thoughts, and the thought and idea can be something right now, and then in 5 minutes is nothing, and it don't mean anything. I feel like that's us right there.
That's it. We ain't there, and there is no us. I'm telling you the truth. You know, we just everything. You know, it's just that we have been conditioned to claim the body. When
Yeah.
we was real young, we was doing some other shit. You know, what I mean, we still was maneuvering through the body, but we knew we was beyond it at one point. They had to tie us to this body.
Suzu, we us at the moment.
But there is no moment. Hold on, no, hold on. Listen to this though.
Oh, no, let's be
It's
spoiled
only the
existence.
moment.
Hold on.
Yeah.
What's a moment?
This right here.
A moment is right now.
Yeah, right now.
That's what a moment is.
But what is the no?
You just said that in the moment.
Hold on. This is a part of the thing we're doing right now too. But there is no now. When was now? You feel me? That shit gone
The
already.
only thing is now.
You can't,
We can't guarantee
Yeah,
that
you
something
can't
will
put-
happen a year ago. Yeah, we can't. Something will happen a year ago. We can't guarantee it happen. But us all
Not a
speaking
fixed
to
point
each
in
other right
existence,
now,
yeah.
we could guarantee it's happening, even if it's not the real reality or fake reality. It's still happening because it's right now. We're experiencing it.
That's the funny part about it, right? Because I see what both of y'all saying. Because like even when you say right now, look, even when you say right now, now it's gone already.
Say something now.
It's gone already. Before you even get it out, it's gone.
I could say something now, but it's just past.
There
You feel
is
me?
a
So I'm still trying to find the
layer of
moment. I'm
perception
still
that
trying
is
to
given
find
to
the
the
moment, bro.
connection,
Like when there ever was a moment. You feel me? Like what the fuck these niggas talking about? Who the fuck you niggas talking to?
Like before you even say now, before you
There ain't
even
no damn moment. No, I said
man.
it purposely. Like I'm gonna tell you, I'm trying to find like when now I'm gonna find this moment. I'm gonna find this shit because I still can't find a moment.
You
nigga.
try to create that moment though and make it
but
last.
A moment
pinpoint
is
nothing.
not something to find. You only
Exactly.
experience a moment. You can't find a moment.
Once
you
you
could
get
only
something
experience
To
a
make it
moment.
even
Do you have it
crazier, bro.
anymore?
To make it even crazier, I'm still
Yeah.
trying to find the
Yeah.
you in the situation.
I know.
You can find something for that too.
I met all the people that created the me that I think I am. I heard all of them, but I gotta tap out, y'all.
Wow, bro.
I gotta tap out though. This was a long, nice live.
Alright.
Thanks, Sun Tzu and
You
Dave
know
for
it.
showing up. Thank you, Cryo, UL, and
Yeah,
everybody else,
thanks.
Woken One, Temple of Doom, everybody out there. Yeah, we'll be back tomorrow night at 11. That's gonna be the time we're gonna be running the live. So yeah, be there or be square. Be there or be square. Thank you guys. All right.
Yeah, bye everyone. Bye.
All right. And we that's the time I'm gonna run the lives at 11. So once I get off work and I take my showers and get everything out the way, that's when I'm gonna start jumping in and running the lives. And yeah, we're gonna do it every day. I've been diving, bro. so you'll be able to keep your presence one day. No, you won't. Hey, UL, that's what 607 Unc said. He said, when I leave this earth, I'm taking my body with me. He said, like Moses and somebody else did. And I was like, okay, where you going to take it to? Why would you even want to take this vehicle with you? Why? Like, to keep it as a monument or something? I don't know, bro. I don't know. That shit is crazy, but we be having some dope-ass conversations. And I thank everybody out there for stopping by, for staying. Hit that like button on your way out. And tomorrow night, 11 o'clock, same back channel, same back time. Peace out. Yeah, the body do not belong to you. You don't even want it. Exactly. You don't know you don't want it until you know you don't want it. Exactly. But all right, I'm gone. Or I'm going to keep